more time to basically, do that.
Oh, yeah. Morning, people. Happy new week. Happy blessed week. Maybe a blessed week for everybody, actually. Maybe for you guys. Maybe a blessed, peaceful, wonderful, glorious, favorful week. Say amen wherever you are. But it's Monday, the 24th of, I was going to say August, of March. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by The Culture. I'm one of your hosts for today, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. The cameras are on, so that means Brent is in here as well.
Good morning. Hope everybody is doing fine. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend, and I hope you're ready for the week ahead. It'll be a good one.
Amen.
Can I just do a little roll call before we start, please?
Yes, please.
Good morning, 9 Ether. Good morning, Energy. Good morning, TT. Good morning, Gin and Gist. Having saying that, Gin and Gist has put a giveaway, a free giveaway in... Wait, giveaway is always free, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Or sometimes you have to pay for something?
Sometimes, see if it's a UK hairdresser child, you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
You gotta jump for your
But if the Gin and Gist one, it will be free. She got manners.
Find your way to the Discord. She's given away, I think, 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6 great reads. And I think she had put how you can qualify for that
Nice.
in the Discord. So please find your way there and be
blessed.
well read. Yeah, 100%. Let me just continue. Natty, Miss Snow Globe, Davina, DCF Mooks, Bex, Marie K, Mr. Ashlows, Antonia Hansen. I don't know why I did that just now. Antonia Hansen, Abimi, Iman B, T, Catherine Akuya, Mandy, Crud Crew, Ghana Greatness, Sarah, Abi, Apia, Unknown, Everest, Ahmed, Izzy Bambino, Nez Express, Black Rob, Nikki, and Noreen. Good morning.
Do you know what I had over the weekend? Sorry, go on.
I'm nearly finished.
There's 2 more people.
No, I'm nearly finished with Adolescence.
Okay.
I started it like really, really late / early this morning, right?
Yikes.
Yeah. When I say I'm nearly finished, I'm on 2, so I'm halfway.
Bro.
Halfway through.
You are not nearly finished. Especially because you can't watch episode 3 spread up. So
yeah, you did tell me that. I didn't think it would just start like already clean cut, like it's done. Okay.
No, that's the thing, because I was like, I don't want to spoil it, but
Wednesday we be have time to.
I just felt like we'll talk about Wednesday.
Yeah. But anyway, I am going to make mental notes and probably I'll type a few things on my phone because I have a few things.
It's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. But Wednesday.
Sorry, someone unknown says. I mean, thank you for the compliment, but my name has a H in it, by the way. But someone says, think I need to go to church more to try and bump into Esther. She's a beauty. Sorry, do you go to my church? That's a little scary.
Maybe he's saying
you need to go to church, just any
to
church.
find babes like that.
Fair.
That's what I think he's saying.
Good. Because
not you.
I thought it meant me. My name is in the sentence. I said, huh? Oh dear.
Wonderful. All right.
Do you know what I had over the weekend?
What do you have?
Oh, I had doubles over the weekend.
Oh, is
Did you
it?
get doubles from? Come on.
Basically, my friends, big up my girls. But I went out, I went to, hear this. I went to a place that serves Turkish food.
Turkish and Jamaican.
Come
on.
Yeah. Do you remember where Kelechi's show was that time?
Yes.
In Peckham?
Yes.
And that place it was?
Yeah.
And then the restaurant we went to afterwards.
Yes.
But I think that different people can hire it out and stuff.
Okay, like
so these people have just recently moved in there. So it was there. I was thinking, I've been here before, but I don't think they were serving this last time. It's a very nice, interesting menu.
Yeah.
So I got the doubles because obviously I'm familiar.
Sorry,
but
this Turkish had doubles?
I had doubles.
With a Turkish and Jamaican joint?
Hear this though.
Where did doubles come in?
Hear this. I'll tell you something else that comes in that I didn't understand. I wanted to get a drink. I had a health assessment after, so I thought, okay, let me not drink a cocktail. Let me have a cocktail, chat. So I said, all right, let me not get a punch or anything. I'm just get a juice. I said, okay, I'll get a punch. I see something on there that says something punch, fruit punch, something. No, it said chapped punch. So I said, oh, I'll have that. That sounds very lovely. What Jamaican drink is that? Because again, what Jamaican / possibly Turkish drink is this? Do you know the brought my face?
What?
A Chapman.
Chapman's.
A what?
A Chapman. That is a Nigerian drink.
Chapman.
Chapman.
What is that? What is it?
It's basically like a. It's like a fruit punch, but it's like a fruit punch.
Is it really nice?
It's lovely.
Okay.
It's absolutely lovely. But I said, and they did cheek him as well. They didn't even put it like in an unidentifiable content. Like it said, it was that popular brand. It says a taste of Africa. I said in a jerkish joint. Anyway, when the to be fair, the what's it called? The doubles in the description did say a Trini dish. I said, you're just everywhere. You could have blended Caribbean and Turkish into this, but fair enough. It was lovely though. Because I had it with.
Sounds like my type of fusion restaurant.
It was actually, I can't lie, the food slapped. It was nice. What I had anyway, my friend had a kebab type thing and it just looked overwhelming. It was like way too much. It was like bread, it was like rice, and it would overwhelm me.
No.
But it was nice and she got too full. But I had the doubles, but then they give you option of chickpea, which obviously I've tried before, or the jerk chicken, or the oxtails.
In doubles.
Wait.
Wait.
Oh, wait, just got a picture.
Wait, put your phone down.
So I took a picture for you.
Sorry. Listen,
So
when you said you had something that you know full well I like, and you walked in here empty-handed, don't show me pictures
From
now.
Saturday.
What does it mean? Fridge to Brent's hand.
Fair,
Freezer to Brent's hand.
you know.
Nah. Look at yourself in shame.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I can bring it for you on Wednesday, actually.
In fact, take your, the iPad?
Yeah, take it out of the charger.
And then look at it like it's a mirror.
Look, I can see myself there. Hey, girl.
Because that's the type of restaurant you go, you order something, 100%.
Yeah.
But then you order other things to take away.
I was full. I was so full, that when I went to my health assessment and they weighed me, I said, you got to take out 5 kilos because I just ate. But it was lovely. I'll show you a picture.
Yes, please. Because I want to know if it is that it is doubles right. I saw a video over the weekend. I think it was Latte Firm, and the main host was gifted doubles by a co-host, right?
That's a good gift.
He is from Trinidad, the co-host, right? And I'm looking at the doubles bread. It's not really... And it did not look like it was made proper.
I don't think it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah, this the back.
It was lovely. It was so I had it with jerk chicken. The chicken was nicely seasoned. The sauce of it, it was so
you don't
nice.
normally get meat in doubles. That's why I'm so curious now.
It was so, look at my mouth. It was so lovely. It was honestly lovely. So I had the jerk chicken one. I don't know how the oxtail one would have gone down. I just felt like it might be a bit too much.
Not at all. You're saying the right words right now. Oxtail so anything is going to be nom.
Sure, I do love some oxtail. But I had oxtail last week, so I just thought before I actually turned into an oxtail. It was really nice. It was lovely. It was actually really nice. What else? My other friend had like a Turkish dish. It was like a mac and cheese, like a Turkish mac and cheese. But there's a way they something about the cheese and blah, blah, blah. And she said it was really nice. She liked it. What else did we have? I had this guava chicken bites.
Excuse me?
It was so nice.
It was so nice. You said the name of this place? It's
called...
And why haven't you done
I think it's called Jumbi.
You know, there was TikToks where they go and then they experience the dishes and then they go, do one of those then. And then your thing will pop, because I haven't seen anybody doing this restaurant before.
You think so?
100%?
No, actually, my friend found it on thingy.
Oh, right, okay.
Sorry, something just threw me off. My friend found it on TikTok, actually. What's it called? Yeah, it's called Jumbi. No, Jumbi. Okay. So if you go on Instagram, it's actually called... The Instagram is called Jerkish.
Jum... That's Jumbi.
No, Jumbi.
Sorry. Jumbi is like ghosts.
The ghosts make some good food, I tell you that. But no, so on Instagram, their page is called Jerkish, Jurkish. But then it's like, I think their thing is called Jumbi. Yeah. The restaurant itself is called Jumbi. It's really lovely. They do a roast apparently as well.
I want to know if there's a Trinidadian in the kitchen, because
they're black in the kitchen, which is good.
Calling it Jumbi, that is on the nose. Because that is scary food, you know. Scary delicious.
It's scary delicious, I'll tell you that. It was actually really, really nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Esther, there's no way I'm seeing that particular list with all those fusion items and just not buying all of it to.
Yeah, your
try
money is
later.
different over there.
No, it's not that. It's
No, for me, it's that I have to be strategic
yeah,
about how I spend these days.
yeah, because it's in South, isn't it?
Is it what?
In South London,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I don't live there. I don't go there often, so it's not a.
Oh,
a
yeah,
frequent
that's fair.
thing, so I would
Yeah. See,
need
I
to
can pop down
basically-
if I need
yeah.
to quickly. It was honestly very lovely. And actually, it wasn't expensive, to be fair. Actually, yeah, it wasn't expensive. When we split it, I think it was like £25 each.
What did you eat?
We basically got things that we wanted, and then we basically tried it. I didn't try the mac and
Guava.
cheese. Obviously, that would have sent me. I wouldn't be here today,
Yeah.
or maybe the next week. But so yeah, I got the guava chicken bites. It was so nice, and you know what it is like? It's just when you can tell food is really well seasoned. That's just the best thing. So I got that, and I got the doubles, and then my friend got the croft. Actually, let me go on the menu. It's on the Instagram. Hold on.
Mixing guava with meat, there's definitely a trend in it.
Yeah, so it's guava chicken and it's fried chicken thigh bites with a hot guava glaze, sesame, spring onions, and garlic. I didn't use the sauce because it sent me to hell. Oh, actually, and we tried the where is it? It was something fish something. Saltfish something. Where is it? It was saltfish something. I can't find it now. But it was something to do with saltfish. Yeah. Oh, no, it is. It's saltfish badades kofte. It was like a little bowls. It was nice. I've never had saltfish, actually. That was really nice. And then my friend got the Turkish chicken kebab. And that was the flatbread, the salad, the rice, and then she got that. I think she got it. Yeah, so that was chicken. Then I got the doubles, and then my other friend got the
This needs to be in Liverpool Street, man.
margarina firinda, and that's basically like the macaroni pie. It was nice. And then the lady next to me, they got something to do with plantain, but it looked like plantain chips.
Yeah.
And I just thought, sorry, no, I've got plantain in my fridge. And it's not plantain crisp, it's actually thick plantain.
For £25, that's so nice, man.
It was nice. It was honestly very nice. And the dessert looks very nice as well. But obviously we didn't have any, there was so full. And it's good portions. Because the doubles, when it came, that one I showed you was like 2 of those. And I thought, I'm going to be hungry. But to be fair, by the time I had that, I had the chicken bites, had one of the saltfish bowls.
You're full.
I was really full. I didn't eat for the rest of the day. That's a lie. I had roasted plantain later on.
Meat.
But I was honestly so full. It was just really nice. So go and check them out, to be fair. Big up them.
100%.
Big up them. It was really, really nice.
John B.
But yeah.
All right.
So check it out, y'all. I should have a food thing. I do enjoy eating. I just don't like that all, like a lot of our lives is documented in some kind of way.
Yeah.
I find it, honestly, I find it very, very overwhelming. So that's why I just don't bother with these things because I just can't bother. But anyway, that was nice. How was your guys' weekend though?
Mine was extremely busy. How was yours, Emmanuel?
Yeah, it was alright, man. I was busy as well, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was alright.
It'd be like that.
All right.
Yeah. Did anyone in the chat go to Beats and Bands yesterday? Let us know. Big up the girls. Not big up the girls. Big up Gina. And to be fair, big up the Pepper Girls as well.
All the time.
All the time. But yeah, we got a packed show, so let's get into it.
Let's do that.
What?
No, I
It's
was
okay,
just
though.
reading the chat. Episode 4 was emotional, Sarah said. So,
Well, adolescence.
yeah, apparently, I think.
Was it? It was. Oh, it was.
All right, then.
Yeah, that final scene.
All right, then.
All right, people. First set of headlines. Rachel Reeves is preparing to cut 10,000 civil service jobs as part of a sweeping £2 billion Whitehall savings drive ahead of a spring statement she has warned will involve hard choices. The Labour Chancellor has ordered Mandarins to slash 15% from departmental administrative budgets by 2029 to 2030, saving an estimated £2.2 billion a year, and pledged the money will be redirected to frontline services. But the plans triggered an immediate backlash from unions who said public services will suffer after years of underfunding. Unions warned of chaos, with the General Secretary of the Public and Commercial Services Union, Fran Heathcote, accusing ministers of setting an arbitrary figure for cuts plucked out of the air. She predicted backlash from the public, who will be affected by cuts in the services that they receive. The job cuts come amid signs that Ms. Reeves will need billions more in savings to meet her own fiscal rules, as sluggish economic growth and higher than expected borrowing limits her options. Next headline, and Keir Starmer hailed his good relationship with Donald Trump just hours before the US president's special envoy slammed the PM's Ukraine peace plan as a posture and a pose. Steve Witkoff said that the Labour leader's idea of a peacekeeping force made up of the coalition of the willing was based on a simplistic notion of thinking we have all got to be like Winston Churchill. In an interview with the New York Times published hours later, Sir Keir Starmer said of Trump, "On a person-to-person basis, I think we have a good relationship." He also added, "I like and respect him. I understand what he's trying to achieve." He also revealed that on the day of the disastrous meeting between the President Trump and President Zelensky in the Oval Office, we saw the Ukrainian leader berated by his American hosts, that the UK was under pressure to come out very critically with flowery adjectives to describe how others felt. Sir Keir Starmer also said, "I took the view that it was better to pick up the phone and talk to both sides to try and get them back on the same page." And our last headline takes us to Turkey. So tens of thousands of protesters have taken part in demonstrations across Turkey after the main rival to the president, Erdogan, was formally arrested and charged with corruption. Ekrem İmamoğlu, who is the mayor of Istanbul, was due to be selected as the CHP, which is the Republican People's Party, 2028 presidential nominee in a vote on Sunday. In response to his arrest, Sunday night saw a ramping up of the worst unrest the country has seen in more than a decade, with protesters fired upon with tear gas and rubber bullets. İmamoğlu said that the allegations against him were politically motivated. He said, "I will never bow." This is what he wrote on Twitter, or on X, before he was remanded in custody. Erdogan has condemned the demonstrations and accused the CHP of trying to disturb the peace and polarize our people. Crowds amassed near Istanbul's capital, City Hall, by early evening on Sunday for a fifth night, and could be seen waving Turkish flags and chanting in front of a row of riot police. And that's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into our What You Saying topic of the day.
All right, people. Did I say that? Curtis Jackson said I said 2020, 30. Is that what I said? That is
2020 what?
2020, 30. No, I said 2029 to 2020, 30. But yes. So today's topic of the day, Black British. Being called Black British. It's the terminology that we call ourselves all the time, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask a question. Is rejecting English, so instead of saying that we're Black British, we're Black English, especially if we're born here, right? Is rejecting that a stand, or is that a setback? Is that harming us?
It's common sense.
Why?
Not English.
Why?
Because we're black.
You can't be Black in English?
I don't believe so. You have to have roots in English history.
Okay,
And
how far back you want to go?
Back enough to claim English.
Because the English people are not native here. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, but still though. Even the royal family aren't English.
There you go.
So how am I going to be English?
No, but they claim they're English. So even though
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Do they really?
Yeah. That's the Queen of England.
Frauds.
The king.
The king. Yeah, but I'm a British citizen. I don't claim I'm English.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are we wrong in saying that though?
No.
You sure?
I can't be English and Nigerian. That's a conflict. that's so you pick a side. You know what side I pick.
All right. Brent, what about you? What's your
I'm
thoughts
not
on
English.
it? But why? What's your thinking? The same rationale?
Because I'm Trinidadian.
Alright, you're Trinidadian, but you're British too, right?
I have a British passport, yes.
Okay, cool.
A black person claims to be English. Sorry, it sounds like a coon to me. I don't know what it is. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. You're not English.
If you were born in, so all of us right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, but Ben's not born here, innit? But
you're not. Oh yeah, no.
But let's say all of us.
He
Those in
doesn't
the
believe
chat.
I was.
But let's just say all of us, yeah. Those
Yeah.
in the chat as well that have a similar sort of thing where they're born here and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
We say we're Black British. Say we're born in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
What would we be?
You'd be Italian.
So why would we be Italian, But here we're not English.
We're born in Britain.
We're born in.
But where's Britain? In England?
No, England's in Britain.
Oh. Well.
You get where I'm coming from?
Well. I get it
Anywhere
now.
else.
I thought Britain was in England.
No,
I don't act shocked. It's my father's land. I don't need to know. So don't,
Yeah, that's no point.
That don't care. That's still got to be in history. Don't matter. But I don't know. Man, something about being English doesn't sound right. It just sounds like a white people thing.
This is what it is. This is what I think it is anyway. Obviously, you guys have to correct me and stuff here. Is it because of the
English
history,
man. That
the
sounds like
English?
a cuss. That's like how they insult you back home.
Oh, look, Enoch says, I don't have an English passport. So apply that same thing. If you were born in Italy,
Yeah, but
you would have an Italian passport, right?
Yeah.
So would you not call yourself Italian? Is it not the same thing?
Yeah, but we don't have an English passport. That's what he's saying.
That's only because of the makeup of the United Kingdom.
And so they did this then.
Yeah,
So
but
this
it's the
is their
same
fault.
thing. Okay, so if United Kingdom splits up, right? Scots do their thing, Ireland, Wales, and now we're England. Your passport changed to English.
Yeah, then we'll be English. Because you know what, when you think
Would we
about
claim
it.
it too?
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose, yeah, man, sure. I'll take on the form. But when you think about it, even when you look on the form, they did this. Like, this is their fault. When you look on the form, it says Britain. It says British, not English. So it says white, it says British, white, African, Asian, other, wherever the cases are, right? It doesn't say English. I just feel like you can't be English unless you're English.
But I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because it still moves as a unit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Scottish thing and the
Welsh
Northern
and all that
Ireland
stuff
and the Welsh and you
yeah.
know what I mean? So that's why. Like we just say British.
But the Chinaman would be in this country and still call himself Chinese, even if it is that he was born here.
Well,
Would he call himself British?
I think he would say he has a British passport.
But would he call himself British though? Does everyone who with a British passport call himself British?
only when he favours me.
All right, so according to you guys, anyone who's again, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to put no words in no one's mouth.
Yeah.
If you're not white, you're not English, you're British.
Yeah, but if you're not white and English,
Yes,
you're
yeah,
not
sorry,
English.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time, yeah. So if we were all born in Wales,
Yeah.
Would
We'll be
we st-
Welsh.
not the British part.
I'll be
Is that
black
good?
Welsh. We'll be black Welsh people. I want to see if there's a community of them.
No, but you can't say you're black Welsh. You have to be black British still. Because you're not doing it for England.
No, because if it's Scotland, you don't say I'm black English. You say I'm black Scottish.
Do they have their own passport or their British passports?
I think
United Kingdom.
they all got their own passport.
Ooh, I'm not.
I'm not sure actually. I made that up.
Because it's still part of the United Kingdom, isn't it? Ooh,
What does your
have
passport say? Does
no
your passport
idea.
say Britain or does it say United Kingdom? It says United Kingdom, doesn't
United
it?
Kingdom.
I think you can be a collection of titles. I think that's what it is. I think it's a collection thing. So you can say you're Chinese, you can say you're British, you could also say you're South Londoner. You know, I think it's a collecting thing. I don't think it's just a one title.
Well, yeah.
So I can say that yes, I am British because I hold citizenship.
Someone made a
But when
point
I
as well.
identify, anybody asks me where I'm from, I'm always going to say Trinidadian.
100%.
Yeah. Adeola says as well, you can be, with the Italians, you can be black Italian, but you're not Roman. Facts. And that's how I see the British thing. I'm British, but I'm not English.
But Rome is done though, isn't it? Like, who's Roman? You know what I
People.
mean? Are you saying you're Roman in terms of like links to Roman Empire or Rome?
Because I feel like
city?
those are, like, in my mind, Romans are like the real Italians.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
they
I
weren't
hear
just born there. Like, that's their...
They're from there, like ethnically.
Do you know what I
stuff,
mean?
yeah,
And so that's how I see the English as well. Even though English people, I don't know the history. To be honest, I don't know the history of English people. I haven't fully covered the black syllabus. I definitely don't have time to spare for the English one. But
See, Von says, I think there was a British Colony Act post World War II that promised British citizenship to people from the colonies. 100%. Yes. But that's for those from the colonies. That's linked to the Commonwealth and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But for those of us who are born here, I'm saying if we were born anywhere else, would we say that we are of that particular thing? Would we say we're Italian? Yes, we would.
To be honest, the Brits do too much anyway, because when you start thinking about the Britain thing and then the England thing and then the UK thing, like, what are you? I find it so confusing. Finan says, E-man, can someone born in Yoruba land claim it?
Absolutely not.
Damn well, no.
Nope, no chance. We don't want them.
But you get what I mean? I feel like I'm confused. I don't know if Britain is in England, if England's in Britain, and then where's the United Kingdom? Like, it all confuses me.
Yeah.
So I just say, well, I'm not British.
Okay. But if you don't mind, can you play the first clip for me, yeah? So does this apply to Asian people as well? So like I was saying, it's only those ethnically or been here generations who are white, English, that's really English.
Asians are not English. They're British
Right,
too.
cool. Okay, cool. All right.
Because if some white people aren't even English, sorry, but the browns and blacks, no, stepped it back, respectfully.
All right, let's see this clip.
Rishi Sunak is as English as Tizer and Wyfrance, right? He is absolutely English. He was born and bred here. And I wouldn't say that the colour of his skin makes him any.
He's a brown Hindu. How's he English?
Because he's born and bred here.
So by being born here, you become English, in your opinion?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
English then.
I mean, strong from Fraser Nelson, right? He's a former, until very recently, the editor of The Spectator. So this is a debate going on within the right. So sort of the respectable right, the somewhat liberal right, or actually, to be honest, just the mainstream right in general. For a very long time in this country, civic nationalism has
This echo thing.
It's because of the new update. Hold up.
1 second, people.
Like something keeps popping up at the bottom saying all system audio, and then it just decides to do stupidness. So let me do this. Mute. And
been the kind of nationalism we have, right? It's saying you're English if you're born here and you identify as English, right? So it's something about your accent, the language you speak, the culture you have, sort of maybe your sense of humor, for example. And especially, I suppose, because of
Rishi Sunak is as English as Tizer and Wyfrance, right? He is absolutely English. He was born and bred here. And I wouldn't say that the colour of his skin makes him any
He's
less.
a brown Hindu. How is he English?
Because he's born and bred here.
So by being born here, you become English, in your opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's strong from Fraser Nelson, right? He's a former, until very recently, the editor of The Spectator. So this is a debate going on within the right. So sort of the respectable right, the somewhat liberal right, or actually, to be honest, just the mainstream right in general. For a very long time in this country, civic nationalism has been the kind of nationalism we have, right? It's saying you're English if you're born here and you identify as English, right? So it's something about your accent, the language you speak, the culture you have, sort of maybe your sense of humor, for example. And especially, I suppose, because of sport more than anything, this idea, sort of looking at the English football team and saying, well, they're not all English, right? That's usually something that I associate with the past, right? But there is a section on the right who are trying to bring back ethnic nationalism. So you've got civic nationalism, which is based on language, based on culture, based on identification.
All right, so you've seen two people, on the right. One guy is an Englishman, right? The other guy's not. But the Englishman is basically saying, what are we talking about here? He's born here, raised here. Why is he not English? By definition, he's English. And so this was making me ask the question, like, we all say we're British and we're kind of even against even calling ourselves English. But is that bad? Does that make things harder for us? When I say us, I'm talking about the people who care about integration and assimilating to all walks of life, right? Is it bad? Because British may seem and feel more inclusive because we're all kind of under that umbrella of being British. But if you're saying you're not English in England, doesn't have a negative effect? Isn't that just starting the journey almost defeated?
I don't think so.
No?
As in saying you're not English, right?
Yeah.
No.
Trying to get the rights of every normal English person in England.
Because everyone refers to it as British. So everyone will be at a disadvantage then. The Asians, the whites, the blacks, the Mediterraneans. Everybody's nobody uses English. When we fill out forms and stuff, there's nothing on there to do with English. It's all British. So if the government themselves, the people, the lawmakers, have said our identity is going to be Britain or British, the nationality is going to be British for where the region that we live in, then they made the rules. But if for whatever reason they change it, like they would change the currency or something, then yeah, everyone would get to English. But I don't think it changes history saying that we're not English.
But then that rule that you're saying, doesn't that couldn't one say, well, this is the plan of the government
Of
to
what?
have that distinction between British and English, so that they can afford to allow. I don't
Sorry,
know.
what benefits are there for being English?
I don't know.
Because the white people, if you see a white person, they could be Russian, they could be Polish, they could be anything German. The chances of them not even being English is slim. I mean, the royal family are the most English that we know, the most popular English that we know, and they're not even English. They just claim
But-
appropriate English.
Yeah, but they would be completely treated and seen as English.
Yeah, they're
And
treated as
their
a royal
kids would be.
family.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what benefits does being English get you? If there's benefits that I'm missing out on because I still I'm British, then fair enough.
What if one argued, well, you wouldn't know because
I'm
we're
not part of
British.
the club. I don't know how you can hate from outside of the club. Fair enough, but I don't feel like I'm missing any meals.
But we always say we're treated differently, right? And of
Yeah, but
course
we're
we say
different.
that's race, right?
Yeah,
but,
for race, though, not for nationality.
yeah, but what if the race, even though different, was seen as secondary to the nationality, and we all said no, we're English.
Nah, because even if we say we're English, the first thing they're going to see about me is that I'm black. They're not going to see that I'm English or I'm British or whatever the case is. They're going to see a black person. So for black people, it's not going to make a difference because the race is the issue. Race is why we're treated differently, not our nationality. And the English will be a nationality, not the race. So even on forms, it will still be black English, Asian English, white English. I don't think the English makes a difference.
Okay.
Or will.
Okay. So basically, in everyday life, you feel as though people put race above nationality.
Yeah. If you're black, at least.
Okay. Do you feel like at some point, even though we're black, our generations, if they're all born here, let's just say 3 generations from now, they would still see themselves as English, or would they be English? Sorry, would they see themselves as British, or would they be English by that time?
Wait, say that again?
So if, for example, you've got kids, they have kids, 3 generations, 4
Yeah.
generations, all born and raised in this country.
Who is this? A black person?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Would they be British or English? Would they see themselves as British? Or
They'll be
English?
British unless the law has changed where we refer to ourselves as English now.
So you think in 4 generations, they'll see themselves only as British, just like us?
No, I think, well, it depends on the family they come from. If they do the job they're meant to do, then if you instill culture in your children wouldn't think that anything else other than they wouldn't think they're just British. They would know where they come from as well. They would know that's their nationality and not their identity.
Okay. Brent, can you tell me what you think about that? Yeah, and also, why are you doing that? Can you load up the second clip, please? What's your thoughts on that? 3-4 generations from now, your children's children, will they see themselves as Trinidadian, or in fact, put that aside, will they see themselves as British or English? And if they saw themselves as English, would they be wrong? Would you feel a way in heaven looking down?
Well, I don't know what they would see themselves as. I don't know how the discourse is going to change.
Okay.
That many generations separate from me. Would I feel a way in heaven? No. I'm a Jesus Christ. Why would I? I would care more about their salvation.
All right, put the salvation stuff
Hallelujah.
aside. Let's just say everyone. Let's just say everyone gets saved.
So you can't.
Let's just say everyone is in heaven.
He's saved.
So it's the same thing.
No saved kid of mine would say they're British before Nigerian.
I don't think these particular things that divide us is going to be a thing in heaven, you know.
No, forget the heaven thing. All right, wherever you are, let's just say wherever you
I'm not
are.
going to be in hell.
Let's just say you're in the middle somewhere. You're waiting. There's a long queue. Right?
Yep.
And while you're there, you've got screens showing you what's happening on that.
Yeah.
Would you feel away?
No, well, I think it depends. One, if I have a front row seat to the the show, then maybe I'll be invested in the same way I'm invested in anything that I watch that I like. Would I try to communicate to them? Oh, of course, jumpy and them things. But nah, I don't know if I care about this too much past me only caring about it now because it's a thing. I don't know if it's going to be a thing 3 or 4 generations on. I hope it's not a thing. The best or ideal human experience is for us not to be racist towards each other or hate each other. That's the best world I'm working towards. But no, I hope I've answered your question. I don't know if I have.
Okay. Black Rob said GBP, right? Great British Pounds. British Isles, Team GB. A lot of the identity is British based. But with those, they are bringing in people from the other countries, right? Scotland, Wales, and all that sort of stuff. So yes, 100% in certain arenas, it's British based. But just go to football. There's a clear demarcation right there. English. And Saka and all the black players there are English. Do you get what I'm saying? So if somebody had a microphone right now, what do you guys think? Somebody had a microphone to Saka right now, or any other black British player, black English player, and said, "Are you English?" Would there be a right or wrong answer? Playing for England in the England top.
No, there wouldn't be wrong. There wouldn't be a right or wrong answer.
And that's the right answer.
There you go.
I don't think so. If he identifies as English, that's fine. We
mean,
know
custom,
that to be a mixture of this, right? There's only a problem if it is the locals decide to basically, kick up a fuss, and then we'll press them. You get me?
So
Saka, he's allowed to basically be whatever he wants to be. He's bringing it home.
Is he bringing it home or he's not bringing it home? That's what the people care. I definitely think there will be in his comments with monkey emojis if he called himself English.
Definitely.
He could have called himself English.
in
They
my
don't
head,
care how many goals he scores for them. You're not nah.
So
But
as it
football is
pertains,
racist.
as it pertains to football, because the team is called England, it makes sense to say, "Yeah, I'm English."
it has to.
Yeah.
That's what in my head. I'm thinking there's no other answer he can say except English.
Yeah, but I feel like if he said if he said no, I'm British, I don't think he would get cooked for that.
Yeah, because it kind of
Yeah, but if he just
contains
says, if he says no, depending on how he performed previously, they might let it slide. If he said no during that time where he missed that penalty, they cooked him clean.
that. All right,
Yeah.
but second clip.
All right.
I wanted Marks to be here because in my head.
Then you should have done it on Tuesday.
No, yeah, I thought it would be here. But in my head, I feel Marks might say he's English, right? That we're English as well.
Marks just want to go against the grain, child.
And the reason, and so basically, I'm anticipating that. Also thinking in his second clip, what is the issue here?
If Mark says he's English, he's never going to beat that mixed race charges. So he better not.
All right.
No silly, no silly. Don't touch me. Stay outside. Me not touch you. Stay outside. Don't tell me go outside. What you mean my place? Me I buy something and come out. Me not study you. Move outside. Bum buckler. If you go here follow me, why you follow back at me for? Don't cuss nobody right at me. Let me go on in peace. I'm from Jamaica. You can't deal with Jamaica man like this. I'm not coming outside. You can't deal with Jamaica man like that. Don't deal with Jamaica man like that. I'm going. Tell me to go. Don't curse my road after me. Why you curse? Move outside! Bumbleclad, you now move!
Sorry.
Don't hit me, please. Please. Don't hit me.
You come here again, me bust you down right there.
Alright, give me a chance. Give me a chance. I'm not coming back in there again. Okay?
Move for your blood clot.
I'm not coming back in
Make
here.
somebody bust you down, yeah?
No?
Because somebody bust you down, they not touch you.
Who?
You will know who. You come here again, you will know
I'm
who.
going to the police station.
Fuck you, move!
Something.
No silly, no silly.
Don't touch me.
Stay outside. Me not touch you, stay outside.
Don't tell me go outside.
What you mean my place?
Me I buy something and come out.
Me not study you. Move outside, bumbleclad.
If you go here follow me, why you follow back at me for? Don't cuss nobody right at me. Let me go on in peace. I'm from Jamaica. You can't deal with Jamaica man like this. I'm not coming outside. You can't deal with Jamaica man like that. Don't deal with Jamaica man like that. I'm going. Tell me to go. Don't curse my road after me. Why you curse?
Move outside! Bumbleclad, you now move!
Is that a good accent?
This is so. Sorry, this is a Chinese man, right?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I don't know if he's Chinese or he's Japanese or whatever. But this is what we're supposed to be looking at, right? The fact that he born there, or he may not have been born there, but he now has
Assume he
speaks
is,
like the locals.
Assuming he is though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you saying he's allowed to basically turf the homeless person?
No, I was saying the issue here is it because of the race element, right? Are you seeing race here, or are you seeing two Jamaicans?
Oh, are you seeing racism? You're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying, are you seeing that as an element? Are we upset because this is in our heads a Chinese man saying this to a Jamaican in Jamaica, or are we looking at two Jamaicans? Do you get what I'm saying? Because
I'm looking at one Jamaican.
is there a
and
contradiction?
This is so
East Asian.
funny. This is
But then
funny.
Jamaicans might see two Jamaicans.
This is what I'm saying to you.
Someone like, I'm going to use Marks as an example. He thinks White Yard is his cousin. So he probably sees that as just, he might even know the man. So
This is what I'm getting at.
but
So
that's wild.
To answer your question,
Yeah.
if his accent was different, right, 100% you just see race.
Okay.
You will see the racial dynamic
You
here.
think people think it's racist? It's less racist because he's got the
I
same.
think the fact that he is speaking just like the homeless man is what is causing some sort of. Is there anybody on the other side of this argument? You know, I think he's a homeless man, right? I don't know if anybody's realized it. He's probably wandered in and he's looking for free
free
items.
grub.
Right? And he wants
Free
him out.
Imagine.
All right, are you okay there?
Because I recognized late that his t-shirt was hang up, string up in it. Because then I recognized the board. I was like, oh, he probably has a notice on there, you know? And then I recognized the pants that he was wearing. So he's a homeless man. And the humility that came afterwards, that was also interesting.
Oh, that was sad though.
I don't know if you picked that kind of thing up on the street or whatnot, but the contrast from inside the shop and outside the shop, it was different. It was different. So what do you think, Emmanuel? What were you seeing here?
I don't know. Like, in my head, I struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically thinking we're British, just like over there. That's a Chinese man. You know what I'm saying? It's like that land belongs to black people, black Jamaicans, right? But if we are to go by nationality and we maneuver through this world with our passports, which tell the world what we are, right? Our primary identity, I guess, to some degree, right? Then this man who's born and raised there, like the white man was saying about Rishi Sunak, is a Jamaican man. So the quabble should be between, I guess, two Jamaicans. And if the Chinese Jamaican is correct in whatever he's doing, then it's just what it is. It's not a racial element. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's not the other thing.
It's so interesting how you say Chinese Jamaican, but any other black Jamaicans, it's not a Ghanaian Jamaican or Trinidadian Jamaican.
This is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying.
That shows the strength of their culture, isn't it?
Yeah. But also because I feel like, I don't know, like how we identify ourselves. It's not linear. Everyone sees it different. And it's just, it's like everyone is, I don't know, there's a discrepancy in everyone's assessment, I think. Everyone's getting it wrong. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yes, if there's nothing else, I guess we can move on.
Ed says, weren't Native Americans in Jamaica before black people? Is he talking about the Arawaks?
I don't know. I think he's talking about, I don't know.
All right, let's push on to the next headlines.
All right, people. Next set of headlines. Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has called a snap election for the 28th of April as he seeks to capitalise on a surge of support galvanised by threats from Donald Trump. The former Bank of England governor, who assumed the premiership a fortnight ago from his Liberal ally, Justin Trudeau, has now 5 weeks to persuade the country to continue backing his party after 10 years in power. Although the next election was not due until 20th of October, the previously under fire Liberal Party has seen a remarkable resurgence in the polls since January, when Donald Trump began threatening Canada's economy and sovereignty, and Mr. Trudeau announced his resignation. Announcing the Snap poll, Mr. Carney said on Sunday, "We are facing the most significant crisis of our lifetimes because of President Trump's unjustified trade actions and also his threats to our sovereignty. There's so much more to do to secure Canada, to invest in Canada, to build Canada, to unite Canada. That's why I'm asking for a strong, positive mandate from our fellow Canadians." Next headline, and big trigger warning on this one. Big trigger warning. I'm pretty sure we spoke about this roughly when it happened, I believe. But long story short, the mother of the murdered teenager, Brianna Gay, said that she does not believe social media companies will put lives before profit. Esther Gay was speaking at the screening of a new ITV documentary called Brianna, A Mother's Story, which explores the death of her 16-year-old daughter who was murdered by two teenagers. Scarlett Jenkinson and Eddie Ratcliffe, who were both 15 at the time, lured Brianna to a park in Cheshire on the 11th of February 2023, where she was stabbed 28 times with a hunting knife. The 75-minute film celebrates Brianna's life and features interviews with three of her friends, while also examining the issues around online safety. Brianna, who was transgender, struggled with her mental health, which was worsened by eating disorder and also self-harm content on X. She had thousands of followers on TikTok, with some of the videos she posted going viral. From the age of 14, Jenkinson was drawn to videos on the dark web of real killing and torture, fantasized about murder, and also developed an interest in serial killers. And speaking at the documentary screening, Miss Gay said that one of the reasons she had chosen to take part was to get answers from social media companies about safety. She also said, "At this point, I really do not believe that any social media company would put lives before profit." She added that she wanted to ensure my family story was told truthfully and people could get to know Brianna the way we did. In the film, Miss Gay spoke in depth for the first time about her beautiful daughter and how the devastating loss had driven her campaign for change. In deeply personal conversations, she discussed her ongoing campaign to make the UK safer for children and called for a public inquiry into peer-on-peer violence, why it's on the rise, and what can be done to stop it happening. She also looks at whether social media is making children harm themselves or others. She has campaigned for an age limit on smartphone usage, stricter controls on access to social media apps, tougher action on knife crime, and for mindfulness to be taught in schools. And our last headline, trigger warning on this one, guys. The family of a 27-year-old man who was shot dead in North London said that they are grieving the profound loss of a son, a brother, a father, and a friend. Mahad Abdi Mohammed was found with a gunshot wound to his head when police in the London Ambulance Service responded to reports of a shooting on Waverley Road in Tottenham at about 8:45 GMT on Thursday in the evening. Another man, aged 26, had surgery for a gunshot wound to his leg and is in a stable condition in hospital. The force said that a murder investigation was underway. No arrests have yet been made and detectives were appealing for information. In a statement, Mr. Mohammed's family added, "We kindly ask for privacy during this incredibly difficult time. We are grateful for your understanding and support." And that's it for our headlines. It's time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get into Word on Road. All right, in sad news, George Foreman has passed away, man.
Yeah, man.
That's sad. So his family put a statement out and they said, "Our hearts are broken. With profound sorrow, we announce the passing of our beloved George Edward Foreman Sr., who peacefully departed on March 21st, 2025, surrounded by loved ones, a devout preacher, a devoted husband, a loving father, and a proud grand and great-grandfather. He lived a life marked by unwavering faith, humility, and purpose. A humanitarian, an Olympian, and two-time heavyweight champion of the world, he was deeply respected, a force for good, a man of discipline, conviction, and a protector of his legacy, fighting tirelessly to preserve his good name for his family. We are grateful for the outpouring of love and prayers and kindly ask for privacy as we honour the extraordinary life of a man we were blessed to call our own." He's age 76. Very sad.
Young, innit?
Yeah, he's young. See, this is why I tell people, when you're old, when you're living, stop calling yourself old, because you're not. But yeah, man, RIP to him and
A legend.
love and light to his family. Jonathan Majors. I'm tired. I am sick of Jonathan Majors. I've come up, so basically, he creeps me out. let's get into it. Let me just get my thoughts together. So basically, last week I reported about the clip that Rolling Stone got, which is an audio of Jonathan Majors speaking to his ex. Trigger warning. But where he basically admits to his ex-girlfriend that he strangled her, basically. That's what the audio is. She says, oh, you strangled me. He uses some other word. She said, you strangled me. He said, yeah, that's what the word means. The cheek. Imagine the audacity even. All of that stuff. Jonathan Majors has a film currently out. I will not be watching it. I won't be watching it. I will not be watching it, right? Because I'm not supporting anything that stupid man does. Here's why I'm not supporting anything that man does. He is on a press tour. He is on a tour as if he's... This is what he's on a tour. He's on a tour as if he's been lied on and he's a victim in this situation. I'm here for grace. I am a child of God. God has forgiven all of us worse things and continues to do so. I am here for grace. I am here for people doing something that's terrible, regardless of how harmful it is, and then doing the work they need to do to repent of that, to grow from that, to apologize for that, and just doing the work they need to do to be a better person from what they did, which is why I supported Chris Brown until I saw him paying for legal fees for Tory Lanez. Put that to the side, right? So this is what I thought this is the path I thought Jonathan Majors was. He's obviously, I thought he was on. He's obviously married Megan Good as well. Gosh, it's so hard to support women sometimes. He's married Megan Good and whatever. So I'm just thinking, and she's obviously got a clean image. She says she loves the Lord and serves the Lord and whatever else. So there's nothing wrong with him being given grace if it's a thing where he's moving forward in this light. And he's obviously, the whole trial with his ex, Grace Jabari and whatnot, he had to do a year-long therapy and whatever else. And I think it's like anger management or something to do with domestic violence, something like that anyway, blah, blah, blah, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I thought he was doing the work. Until I saw him on this press tour for this film that he's doing, and he's sitting there acting as if he's a victim. Like, he's acting as if, someone came out of nowhere, lied on him, and he got fired and lost all these deals and stuff, but then now he's only picking himself back up because everyone's realized they were wrong? No, you still did that. There's nothing wrong with you being forgiven. There's nothing wrong with you being given grace. There's nothing wrong with you being given the space to be a better man. I'm not against that. But you can't sit in rooms, you can't sit in interviews and act like you're the victim. Every mention of love of Megan Good, here come the waterworks, here comes the tears. This man is acting his boots off like he's never acted before. He is such a phony. He is so fake, and it's actually very creepy to watch. This is what took me over the edge before I even watched, because I said, I'm going to watch the Breakfast Club interview. But what took me over the edge, because in all these interviews was nobody's asking the questions that need to be asked. Everyone is cuddling him in these settings. Sherry flipping Bird Shepherd was over there crying, talking about, she wants her man. She wants her son, her young son, to see someone like Jonathan Majors as a role model. Are you stupid? The same woman who opened her silly little mouth and was talking about, women that dress like Megan Thee Stallion and whatnot are a bad influence for women. But you want the woman beater to be a role model for your son. You're a bird and you're embarrassing. And you should have never got Wendy's spot. Wendy Williams would have asked the question that needed to be asked. Do you know what? His team would have given Wendy a list and said, please do not ask these things. She would have said, yeah, I wouldn't ask it. He would have got there. They would have started talking about the film, and Wendy would be looking at him, because I know I can just see in my head how this plays out. She would be like, I'm sorry, Jonathan, I've got to ask you. But do you get what I mean? She would have asked these questions. Before I get to the Breakfast Club stupid interview, right? This man, when one of the press tours he's doing again, was asked by this interviewer that the guy basically brought up the audio that had come out. And he said to him, do you know, let me try and get the clip, Brent. Okay. I have to try and get the clip. Because honestly, I don't think I'm even going to do it justice saying the foolishness that he said himself. Where is it? Oh, actually.
Chris Ogun.
I've got it.
Email it to me, please. Imal, Chris Ogun says, have you seen the whole discourse with the Nigerian stepmother?
Oh yeah, that was embarrassing.
No.
That was embarrassing. Every time I see that video, I just can't. Like, I just want to throw up. I haven't forgot to send the other part to Christy. I'm going to send it to you, girl. Okay. Brent, I've sent it.
Thank you.
Just have a look. This man he was basically asked about the audio and what his thoughts are on the audio. And again, this is why I say that there's nothing wrong with grace being given. There's nothing wrong with people doing the work. But what you cannot do, you can't try to rewrite history by trying to act like it never happened. It happened. And if you're claiming that, because he's claiming that he's growing, he's claiming that he's learning, he's claiming to be a new person, you have to then acknowledge what it was that got you to this point. No one is saying go into details, but to be like, you know what I did, that was a very horrible version of me. I should have never treated her like that. And honestly, I apologize to her because I can't, even if you I'm sure there's a thing where he can't contact her personally, but to say that, you know what, I wish I never did that to her. I wish that version of me, I hate that version of me because the way I treated that one was horrible. Even to acknowledge that's okay. That's maturity. That shows that you're working. But I cannot believe this. I can't believe these speeches he keeps doing about he's doing the personal work when you refuse to even acknowledge you did anything wrong. He's sitting there every time and people are saying, oh my gosh, Charlemagne, you never defend men. Never defend. I sat here and I said, I don't think there's anything Charlemagne could do that will make me hate him. I don't hate him. But I think it's very pathetic because he sat there saying, "Oh, all the things that's going on, it's all propaganda because it's all coming out now that you're about to do your film. It's not all coming out now that he's about to do the film."
Charlemagne was saying it's about
Jonathan Majors. He said, "What I saw was a white woman chasing you."
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So I need you to refresh my memory. Yeah, I'm assuming other people feel the same way.
Yeah.
What happened in the situation?
Unfortunately, I wasn't there.
Yeah. No, but
However,
case,
from the court documents,
yeah.
Allegedly, the reason why she had a broken finger was because of him. So the cab situation that people saw is not the first time they'd ever had any kind of altercation.
Okay.
Right? So that was the one that people saw and is making people say, oh, he's the victim in this.
Okay.
However, though, when her claims are not just about that one incident, she has other claims about other stuff. So the one where with the audio thing, she's obviously talking about he strangled her and blah blah blah. And then there was the one where I think did he strangle her and then he broke her finger or whatever it was. But he basically said to her, "Don't go to the hospital."
Okay.
Because he said to her, if you go to the hospital, this is when he said the whole she should be that Coretta.
My Coretta.
She should be like Michelle Obama. So he basically, I feel like it was an abusive relationship, and that whole cab situation and the Uber thing of her running away and seeing his phone and whatever else was just one. That was the one instance.
Okay.
But that instance is not a reflection of what the relationship has looked like. Do you get what I mean? Because he obviously the audio he says that he admits to having what was the word he used? Something used, and then she said, "Yeah, you strangled me." And he said, "Yeah, that's what the word means, basically, right?" There's that all that stuff. Allegedly he was the one that broke her finger and whatever else. Obviously she went clubbing afterwards. But victims of abuse do things that is not quote unquote rational or logical. So I'm not going to say, why did you go clubbing after your man just broke your finger? I'm not going to say all of that stuff. There was that. There was also apparently she had like marks around her neck and things or whatever. Again, if he had strangled her, that makes sense.
He admitted that anyway.
He did.
Okay,
so like
cool.
this whole conversation about all you saw was this video of him running away from this white woman. It's highly irresponsible. And then I think what makes me sick as well is that he sits there acting very like coy and very shy and like, well, you know how they treat the black man. No, you monster. No. Anyway, he was asked about, because apparently there was someone that was saying as well actually that, because there was a clip of when he called the police because she allegedly passed out. There was this podcast of this, remember that clip when he was just...
Yeah, vaguely.
And he called the police and then they came to the house and whatever else. That's one of the clips that went during the court case and whatever.
Up the stairs and
Yeah.
they saw boots and whatnot and they were making fun of the type of boots that it was.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So apparently someone was saying that actually when people get strangled, if obviously you don't pass out in that moment, it is possible for you to like pass out later on. So people are basically speculating that they think that's what happened, where she'd passed out and he was just found on the floor and he's panicked kind of thing. But that was around the timeline where he told her not to go to the hospital. This man allegedly told her not to go to the hospital because if she went to the hospital, it would get on the press, and he said to her that you don't understand what you going to the hospital, what the ramifications will be on me. Because obviously he did something to her.
And then he was basically suggesting that, like, you're going to destroy what I've
You're
built,
gonna everything I've built and things I've worked hard for, and that's when he was like, "Oh, you like essentially she used to be supportive
like
and blah blah
such
blah,
and such,
and she can take some time away to get better." So people acting as though, oh, all there is to this case, the only thing there is to this case is him running away from the white woman. Is wild.
But is it because that was the only thing discussed in the case?
No.
Okay,
the
cool.
things that I'm saying now are things that were discussed in the case.
Okay.
The things that were discussed in court, they were discussed it's all stuff that's come out. And then also as well, there's been people, obviously he's got ex as well who said that he was very aggressive in relationships, emotional abuse, and was aggressive in relationships or whatever. And then we had people as well that came out and said they've worked with him on sets and stuff, and he he's got like that kind of temperament where he's got very short temper and blah blah. He's also, which is very sorry and whatever, he also claims that he was essayed as a kid and all that kind of stuff as well, which these anger issues and all that stuff is not, it's not far-fetched for people that have dealt with stuff like that. But you can't go on a tour saying that you're a new person without acknowledging that you have hurt somebody, you've done harm to somebody. Anyway, listen to this damn fool talk about just listen to his response when the audio of him admitting to strangling this woman is asked of him.
When something like this comes out,
being metabolized.
Love that for you. The victim wouldn't say the same, that she's just living life. There's no remorse whatsoever. That's such a creepy, sociopathic thing to say. That is very creepy to say, to just act like, oh, I'm just living life. Oh, I'm just working. I'm glad I've done my work. Done your work on what? Like, what are you talking about? That's traumatic. That coming out for the person who was strangled and hearing you be so flippant about it, about what you did to her, that's traumatic. There is no acknowledgement whatsoever. So I saw that clip and I thought, this guy's a sicko. Then I watched the Breakfast Club interview and I said, nah, this guy is scary. He's scary and must be watched. He's not okay mentally. He's sitting there really acting as though, first of all, the way he smiled, and I'm a lover girl. I'm a lover girl through and through. Nothing I love more than just watching people love their partners, be loved back and all that great stuff. However, this man, every time he asks about Megan Good, he just starts acting like some 3-year-old kid that's been allowed to go to their best friend's party, acting all shy. But the thing is though, it's not authentic. You can tell that he's literally putting on an act. It's disgusting. I'm just so sick of him. I'm so sick of him. And honestly, I just wish him the worst in all that he does. Do you know what? Yeah, that's where I'm at. I didn't even mean to say that, but it just jumped out because clearly that's how I really feel in my heart. It was absolutely disgusting. He really sat on that show, and every time they would bring up when they brought up the thing and they're talking about, what we saw was just, a black man running away from a white woman, and, all the things that's been going on is clearly targeted. He starts sipping his drink. Yeah, I hope you choke on the drink. Keep sipping the drink because you got nothing to say. I just can't believe that he's going to all these places, all these different platforms, and people sit on there. Charlamagne sits on there talking about, oh, you care about mental health and blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. And you go on these platforms all the time, and then they're all acting as if he's been through this, he has been through this very traumatic thing and blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm not saying that your life should be completely over because you made a mistake, you did something that's very horrible, but you have to be someone that understands why what you did is horrible. There is no remorse in this. There is no admitting. There is no accountability. There's no accountability. It's just speaking about, the great work he's doing on himself now. But I don't understand. He's fired his therapist. He needs to get rid of his therapist. There is no way you can claim to be doing good work on you being an abuser. You trying to say that you're a reformed abuser, and there is no mention of what got you to this point of the work that you're doing. It's so pretentious, and he's just obviously acting, and it's just so disgusting to see. And then it's like the same way he was talking about, the energies and the vibrations. Like that's how he talks. It's like he can't get his word together. When you ask him a question, the conversation doesn't flow because he's thinking of how do I strategically answer this so that it comes off in the right way, so that you get the image of me that I want you to get. It's very, very, very sickening. It's absolutely sickening. I believe Tory Lanez more than I believe him. Do you know I believe Tory Lanez more? Because at least he's like, he's saying I didn't do it and this is da, like whatever the case. He's not pretending that nothing happened. He's saying something happened, I didn't do it.
Do you feel
This
like,
one is pretending as if nothing happened and he certainly didn't do it when we have proof he did.
do you feel like Jonathan Majors owes us an explanation though?
He does, because you're trying to guess us on your side. That's the issue, because he's sitting there like what he's trying to do. Because I think they asked him about the whole Hollywood thing and how with Hollywood they can turn on you and blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah. And he basically talks about how he values his fans more than he ever has. And fans are not just people that support you; they're people that watch anything that you're with or whatever the case might be. So if he's on this press run because he cares about public opinion. And if you care about public opinion,
public opinion.
Sorry, thank you very much. Because he's aware they call him a state. What's it called? Kunta Kinte. Or what's the guy's name? Kunta Kinte.
Yes.
He's aware. He's got a wardrobe of Kunta Kinte. He's aware. So he wants to get the black sympathy. He wants to get black support, right? Because he was happy his first part of career when he just had a white audience. He loved that. Well, he sees how we love Michael B. Jordan. Morris Chestnut. So now he wants to tap into that greatness. And so if you want to tap into that greatness, the least you could do then is then be honest. But what's so irritating and so annoying and just so annoying is that there's black people who are lapping it up. Because again, they're hearing the people that they consume content from saying, oh, all I saw was a white woman chasing you. All I saw was a black brother defending himself. What are you talking about? What are we doing here? Honestly, I'm so disgusted. I watched that Breakfast Club interview and I tell you, I disliked the video. I did. I'll show you a print screen right now if you want. I could have left the video as it is. Because I thumbs up the interviews, because I like the interviews. This one, I put a negative thumb down. If there's only one negative thumb, it's me. If there's none, it's because I deleted my account. I put the negative. Because I just thought, what foolishness. I literally saw a grown man. I have seen, because it's not just the only interview he's been on. I have seen a grown man go to different platforms and just be cuddled. Be cuddled for abusing a woman. And I don't know, because people are saying, oh yeah, but if it was a black woman, would it be different? I don't know. Because Megan was a black woman. I don't know that if it was a black woman, it would be different. I don't know. I think people will make up the same excuse that they do, but I just think things like this is so harmful, especially when someone coming on platforms where we know that domestic violence is a thing. Domestic violence is a thing for men and women. It's a thing for children. Like, domestic violence is a real thing in our communities. Unfortunately, I don't know about the white community, I don't know about the Texas community, I don't know about Asian, I don't know what they do on that side. But in the black community, unfortunately, these things, abuses are very, very much excused. It is very, very harmful to have somebody who we know has admitted that and then come on there as if like, oh, I'm just a reformed person and, you know, I'm doing the work. And it's just so irritating, honestly, really, really. Oh, I'm so annoyed about it.
Good morning, Stacey.
Good morning. How are
you,
y'all?
hon?
Blessed and highly favored. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just, I hate the whole Jonathan Majors talk because in no way am I defending him because abuse is abuse. But where I kind of turn my ears off to conversations like this is, to me, situations like this just highlight, the inconsistency in how we hold people accountable, which makes me question, like, the people who so adamantly want to hold people accountable, what is their metric? Because it's just so inconsistent to me. It's just like everybody should just be quiet. And two, it just highlights to me how Black people are their own enemies in this industry. Like, instead of asking the right questions and like truly like not making Black people who do bad things like the standard of what accountability looks like in a positive way, quote unquote. Like, we continue to pipe our people down and don't do the same for the white people. And I don't want to just make it exclusive to men, so I'm trying my best to use people and not making it a men thing. But like the white people who do equal things, and like you're throwing dollars at them or continuing to grow their platforms when they have similar histories. it's to me it's just so weird. So to me, when I hear people talk so passionately about like the likes of the Jonathan Majors and the Chris Browns and the etc., I'm just like, anyway, next caller, because I can rattle off a bunch of white people who have similar offenses that are continuing to grow their wealth, and you don't have the same commitment to holding them accountable. So like, how about you be consistent or say nothing? And why? And we say, Chrissy said, "Oh, is there ever really consistency in the industry?" Yes, and it only applies to Black people and holding them accountable. Like that is weird in itself to me.
Did you just call it Christy?
Sure.
She just called it Christy.
No, I said it. No, I said it in the chat. I said it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Stacey, you know Brent well enough now to know that this man is not. Don't take him seriously. Question though: if someone doesn't, so for example, right, my passion for Jonathan Majors, I am someone who I care about Black matters because I consume Black content. Whatever, like I think I talked about. I'm sure I put in the whole Brad Pitt stuff and blah blah blah blah. But essentially, it is impossible for me anyway, personally, but for a lot of people as well, to be passionate about every single social issue that there is, right? So different people, and this is why when it comes to speaking out about stuff and raising awareness about things, it has to is community work.
Tim Westwood.
Tim Westwood.
It's because he was in the Black community.
Exactly.
This is where we do our business.
Exactly. So someone like Tim Westwood. Tim Westwood is a white man, but I care about that situation, and I care about him still being platformed in Nigeria. By the way, he's still got current and active gigs in Nigeria, but I'll talk about that another day. One thing at a time. I care about something like that because something that affected the Black community. I can't care about everything that every single community goes through. There are things that will come on my radar, and of course, I will have the same passion, I will have the same energy, and I will care about it because it's come on my radar. I'm aware about it. However, though, I care about Black issues, and I think that this mindset that because we're not consistent with every single abuser, every single example or person that exists, every single example for a social issue means that we can't call something. I think that in itself is also harmful because it's impossible for any individual to know all the stuff that's going on around the world or all the stuff that's going on in the celebrity world and have the same vim and energy for every single issue that's going on. But I don't think that's reason enough not to criticize stuff. And I think, and with the Black stuff, and white people are doing it as well, I hear that so much, and I never understand, and this is not this is not personal to you, Stacey, because I've heard this so many times, but I never understand why Black people say that, because the thing that's happening is affecting our community. Do you get me? So why shouldn't people care because they didn't cuss the white man that didn't cuss Kevin Spacey, or they did? Why should I care about Bill Cosby's abuse because I didn't cuss Kevin Spacey? Kevin Spacey is not my business. Not saying what he did wasn't horrible. Not saying what he did wasn't harmful. But again, if I have with the amount of energy that I have, if this is where I want to put it in, that's okay. And it's funny because this kind of mindset, because there's been a lot going on in Nigeria recently. I think I talked about it with the Ray girl that was calling out Tinubu and whatever else. Mm-hmm. And there's Nigerians who are like, as other places in the world that are also going through inflation. This is how I see these conversations about, we're spending so much time cussing Black people, but other communities are going through, or we don't have the same energy. What is my business with Europe's inflation when I live in Nigeria and I'm going through that, and it's affecting me personally here? So this mindset of we can't chastise somebody, we can't correct somebody, we can't point out something without it being labeled hypocrisy because I didn't call out the other 5 people from another race or from another community, or even within my community that I didn't have information about, is holding us back. And it's not progressive for the changes that we need to see. Do you get what I said? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but it's not what I'm saying. I never said that you shouldn't be calling them out. I'm saying that the way that we call Black people out is just not consistent, even within Black people. Like, we're sitting here talking about Jonathan Majors. Meanwhile, if we talk about celebrities and artists and actors who have made poor decisions that equate to some of the grievances or some of the issues from the likes of Jonathan Majors, it's not consistent. How many rappers are legit murderers that y'all sit? I'm not blaming y'all personally.
I go, yeah. That's generally.
It's not consistent. It's weird. Like, I think it was Lil Nas X who's quoted for saying something like this, but it's like, celebrities, he has found comfort in understanding that the people who often cancel him or want to cancel him never liked him anyway. Like you were never invested in him as a brand anyway. So he can't bother himself with trying to bend and twist and apologize and be cautious of people who are never going to be satisfied with anything that you do. And this is where when to me, what I give someone like a Jonathan Majors a little bit of grace. Again, not advocating for anything he has done, not advocating for abuse. Accountability is accountability. I personally think he still has a lot of work to do. I don't think he's necessarily ready to be doing things like these interviews, but I recognize that he's in a film and you have to do a promo run. I don't think that there's a combining strategic manipulate the public to make you think about, like, no, I think he's just promoting a film. I think that when I think you were saying something about him saying, like, I'm thankful for my fans, I'm thankful for my supporters now more than ever. Yeah, for someone who's dealing with fucking up in the public eye and you're under extreme scrutiny, it's not as easy as just tucking yourself away, healing, and popping up again. There's nothing that you're going to say that isn't going to be under a microscope in extreme ways. So it's a difficult position to be in. And if there are people who are your fans who are willing to support you, despite what's going on, and are willing to maybe forgive you easier than others or allow you the room to be able to still work whilst you're still trying to figure out what healing looks like or what accountability looks like, why would you not be thankful for them? I think we forget that these people are human, and while the things they say and things they do might not be palatable to their situation, I think we should spend more time talking about what accountability looks like and pointing people in those directions than continuing to just throw stones, because it's not consistent in how people throw stones.
But I did say what accountability looks like for him, though, because when I talked about him last week, when I talked about him and Megan Good being married and blah blah blah, there was grace in my delivery of that news. In that, okay, he's doing the work and like he's going for it. He's turning a new leaf or whatever the case is. But then when I've seen other stuff come out, when I've seen the interview and how he's presenting, there is no accountability there. And I also, when I talked about it this morning, I talked about what accountability looks like. I feel like not I think what it is, I just don't agree with your mindset. And I think with people that think like this, where it's like, when it comes to black people, we do a lot, we criticize them so harshly, we do this. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it. I'm sorry, but I'm going to hold black people to a higher standard than I'm going to hold anybody else, because that's the community that I come from, and things that happen within the black community directly affect me. And just because there are other people in society who don't hold Jonathan Majors accountable, who don't care for what Jonathan Majors did, who don't care for what R. Kelly did, who don't care for what Tory Lanez did, who don't care for all these people, what they've done, that doesn't mean that I can't do it. And I think this is the issue as well. Everybody cannot be on code. We've said this in different settings, in different stuff that we've said we need to happen as a community.
Black people
Every single
cannot
person.
Be on code.
Sorry?
Like, it's just us, actually.
What's just us?
Can't be on code.
It's just black people who can't be on code. That's why our actors will continue to be Jonathan Majors, and white people will continue to be Robert Downey Jr. and Johnny Depp.
And that's fair, but the thing is, the things that we want black people to be on code for are not the things I want black people to be on code for. I don't want black men or black women who go around abusing their partners to be getting blessings on society. How then do they know that what they're doing is bad? That trickles down to how it is the children are treated, and the people that are raising the kids are treated. These things, like, I don't want Jonathan Majors to be the next Robert Downey Jr. if he's not going to take accountability for what he's done. If he's not going to do the work. Sorry, let me finish what I'm saying. If he's not going to do the right work he needs to do to be reformed, and to actually change the way to change the things that he's done, I don't want him to be the next Robert Downey Jr. Why is that the metric? Like, why is that when we're like, oh, we're so harsh on these people, but look at them on the white side, they're celebrating abusers. How is that how is that? That's not an admirable thing. Okay, the white side are championing Robert Downey Jr. or Kevin Spacey or whoever else it is. Why is that what it is that we want? And I'm sorry, but with the black community, I don't expect every single black person to always see everything the same way. And just because someone else thinks that Tory Lanez is innocent and I think he's guilty, that doesn't mean that I can't express the fact that I think he's guilty. We're not going to be on code we're not going to be on code about these things. And just because we all don't sit in solidarity doesn't mean that people can't get called out.
I never said that these people shouldn't be called out. I'm
Yeah, but you
actually
said you
advocating
basically
that
said it's hypocrisy because we're not what was it? You didn't say keeping the energy. That's UK slang. There was something you said that
it's not
we're not
consistent when
consistent.
we
But
hold
what does
people
consistency look like?
accountable.
What does consistency look like?
To me, consistency looks like not calling people out for doing egregious things across the board. To me,
What's across the board?
domestic abuse,
Okay.
violence, murder, people
Yeah.
who are out here getting DUIs, putting people's lives at risk. Do you know how many
Yeah.
celebrities have killed people behind DUIs?
Yeah.
But do we talk about that? No.
I do.
Black, white, whatever. Like, you might.
But this is what I'm saying though. But this is Stacey, you're making my point. You're literally making my point. Is that
I don't
we
think
can't
you're
expect
understanding my
every
point.
single person to call out every single thing.
You're not. I don't think you're understanding my point.
I am.
My point in specific to this particular conversation is this gets weird, especially with the likes of people like Jonathan Majors when we're talking about accountability and like I'm not questioning you calling him out. You're well within your right to call him out. What I'm saying is the way that we go about measuring accountability is not consistent and it is strange. And I'm saying that we should pivot our focus to what that should look like versus everything that person's saying is just never going to fit the mold of what it is that you're looking for. If he's promoting a film, why is he talking about the things that have to do with his personal legal issues? Yes, it will be nice in those moments to be able to answer the question correctly, but it's like this is not the time to harp on, and which is why I say it's too early. He shouldn't be doing it, period. But I think that nothing that he could say, to me, what I took from, especially the clip that was shown earlier in the episode, what I took from that, and the short clips that I've seen from Breakfast Club, what I took from that is, why would I continue to dig the hole deeper that I'm already in, saying something that people are going to continue to scrutinize and hold me further and further. In this particular case, when it comes to semantics, holding him unnecessarily accountable for what I'm here to promote a film, and this has nothing to do with my personal life situation and my wrongdoings of the past. This is not the platform to talk about it. So why would I give in to this when nothing's going to suffice here? I'm going to glaze over the question and pivot.
I hear you, but
and if someone wants to have a Gayle King style interview, cool, let that be the focus, but don't corrupt what I'm here to promote. But and that's not trying to not hold him accountable, but it's just like we wouldn't do that. It's just not consistent to me.
Stacey,
it just doesn't
I hear you, but he spoke more about his personal life, being in therapy, all this stuff, than he did about the film. The reasons why all that stuff can be brought up was because he was talking about his journey and what he's been doing since all the allegations and all that stuff has happened. He brought his personal life into it. If he went in an interview and he said, there's people that have been through stuff like that, and when they go to the interview, they say, do not ask me about that. And so under no circumstance is anything even around that going to come up. But in these interviews he's doing, he's making his personal growth since what he was accused of his story. That is literally that's his reason for wanting to make a comeback to media. He's made it his personality. He's made it. That's what he's leading with.
I don't think what I'm.
Kanye West has scarred me, innit?
What?
Kanye West
scarred you.
Yeah. What I want to see is what happens in the next few years regarding Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that as soon as it is that the world found out that he was there with white women, we're like, oh, is this what Jonathan Majors is on? Because the black girlies were really, really finding that type of, old school slave attractive. You understand? It was a thing. And then we found out that not only are you dating these white women, you're looking to basically call this woman Coretta King and that. You understand? So there was a lot that happened in the black community when it is that dropped. And all of a sudden, PR, overdrive, then we see Megan Good. Right? So I'm questioning everything.
Yeah.
The entire rollout, I'm questioning everything. When you saw them in public, all of it looked staged. Every single last
Literally.
minute of it.
And then she's carrying a Bible behind
Every
him as
single
well.
last minute of it. And I remember it. It's
Someone
not
talking
as though-
about
It's not as though I
energies.
forgot that. I remember it. Only because I've learned from Kanye West. I can't forget these things. Just that. I can't. I can't.
Got PTSD.
So don't come and look to manipulate me into getting you back on board, especially if it is that you haven't changed. So I'm looking to see what happens in the next few years regarding him. If it is that he drops out Megan Good, when it is he's back in the good grace and the good gaze of the white folks, because that's all he's interested in.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And that's why when
Where do we even get that from? Like, where are we getting?
Where do
his
we get
only
what
mission
from?
in life is to be in the good grace of the white eyes. Like, what type of creative writing is going on here?
I don't know what you're saying, Stacey. I'm
Y'all
saying what
y'all
I'm
are saying
seeing.
that
I am
you're
saying what
questioning
I'm
whether he's going to
seeing.
drop Megan Good when he gets back into the good graces of white people.
Yes,
Is that not what you just
I'm
said?
saying I'm looking to see
But
if
I'm
that's what he
asking,
does.
Because
where
Marvel
are
dropped
you
in like a
even
bad
getting
habit and
this
he's
from?
still wanting to work with them.
So where am I getting what from?
Like, what makes you even question that?
Question what?
Him and Megan Good.
Why? No, why would you even think that's like a primary objective of his?
To do what?
To get back with the white
get back
to
with
get
the whites?
in
Yeah,
good graces.
Because that's where he was
That's
before.
Hollywood.
He was in all his glory when he was in favor with the whites. What are you talking about?
Anyway, I just let me just close out my point because I don't think
You don't want to press that at all?
What did you say?
You don't want to press that? You
Press
don't
what?
think that he liked the fact that he was in favor with the whites?
No, I think he likes the fact that he could stay employed. The whites happened to be employing him. It's the only relationship
All right, okay.
with the whites. I don't think he wakes up every day and says, "I really want to get in the good graces of white people. Let me find someone to marry to strategically put me like."
With
And
his
Megan Good
boots.
is your choice. Megan Good hardly stays employed by white people. Why would that be your pawn?
No, he has to get back in favor with the blacks first
Because
because
the blacks are the gullible
I don't know
ones.
what you're talking about,
Think
young
white
lady.
people in Hollywood care anything about black people?
Black
He's
people are so
fucking
gullible,
weird.
you know.
Anyway,
Like, what
finish
are
your
we
point,
talking about?
please, my lovely.
I honestly, because I'm reading the chat as well as at least while you were talking, Brent. Like, I'm not. It's not my mission to play devil's advocate. I feel like I hold black men, or I question black men a lot more than the average man. But I think my perspective in how, or the angle in which I ask my questions just may seem like sometimes I'm playing the devil's advocate. I think we should hold people accountable. In no way am I saying that we shouldn't. I think it's more about how we do it and the consistency in which we do it. I think someone in the chat made a very good point. I think it was Black Rob. He was saying like, what is the point of someone trying to beg for the forgiveness people who are committed to always pinning them down? Like, I don't want to use Chris Brown as an example because that's just not a good example, but follow me with the point that I'm trying to make here. Like, there are people who are no matter what forgiveness he gets from the people that he, abused personally, or no matter what growth he has done, he is going to forever be blackballed in the minds of people. All he can really focus on is the fans that continue to support him. Is that him not taking accountability? No, I just think that that's a human being who did some fucked up shit. And while we should call him out, and he needs to take accountability for his actions, we haven't quite mapped out what navigating out of or growing from what when people do fucked up things, what that looks like. What is the path to redemption? And I think that sometimes we say, oh, that person hasn't healed enough or that person hasn't. But who are we to create that metric? And if we are the ones as the people who are, spending money and consuming these people's content or consuming these people, whatever, putting money in their pockets, like, I would love to see us spend more time getting more consistent as to what that redemption looks like, because I just feel like we pick and choose, and it seems like when we do the picking and choosing, black people always get the short end of the stick and white people end up with the millions. And I don't mean to make it a race war. I think everyone needs to be accountable for the fucked up shit that they do, but that's just an observation of mine that just doesn't sit well with me. And that's not to cape for Jonathan Majors. Like I said, if he did some fucked up shit, he did some fucked up shit. I think he needs to stay away a little bit longer. I think he's not ready to be, in the face of the public at this moment. But he has a film to promote, so I can't, fault a black man for working. I just think, again, the way that people are so committed to, contributing to his demise is so strange to me. When I know there are several white actors who have similar backgrounds that money is continuing to get funneled in their pocket. And it might not be by us, but we're not equally as loud. And the excuse of they're not in my community is some bullshit to me anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if we're talking about believing women and we're talking about believing victims, we should be colorblind. Victims are victims, black or white. Why aren't you equally as loud?
So what are your opinions on Jonathan Majors, and were you as loud as you were with the whites that were doing the madness?
Sorry?
I don't think she was loud at all. I think that's what
Should
she's saying.
I repeat the question?
Yeah.
You're asking for consistency. Are you consistent?
I would like to think so.
But are you consistently not calling anybody out though? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds as though because we don't give the energy to the white people and they continue to make money, then we shouldn't be talking. It's like not too much on the black people. But I don't understand how, because the thing is, I can't take money. If it's a white celebrity or whatever, my lack of support for them makes no difference because I never patronize what they did. I never watch anything they did anyway. So when I find out you're a piece of shit, I'm just going to make sure that I never accidentally do that. But if it's someone in the black community whose content I do consume, who in some way, shape or form, I do put money in your pocket, that is support that I can withdraw because I do put money in your pocket. So I think just this argument, it never makes sense to me because it always, when people say it comes down to, yeah, but the black, white people who have done the same thing have gone on to be successful. Why can't we allow that for the black people? And I'm like,
no.
What?
And if that's what the confusion is, I'm not saying that.
Because you said they're still going to go make millions. So
no, that was me pointing out context. I'm just saying, and maybe I just don't have the correct words to make y'all understand what I'm talking about. I just think the way, and I don't want to repeat myself only to be misunderstood.
Honestly, to be fair, you don't have to. I don't think we're going to get on the same page about it anyway. But I think for the majority, I think you've made your point. Just because I'm not on board with it doesn't mean that it's a lack of understanding thing. I think I get where you're coming from.
To answer Brent's question about me being consistent, I think I'm pretty consistent in the angle that I take to question things. Like I think I'm pretty consistent in when situations like this do come across my timeline. Like, I'm not in the comments, black or white, just continuing to just like doom the person down. Like I can withdraw, my dollars and my spending power, which I do, but like the commitment to like forever seeing the person, like I want to know what redemption looks like. Period. I think at the end of the day, me bringing up the white people part is not to say that, they get away scotch-free, so why don't our black men do it? No, I'm more questioning, okay, does redemption look different on that other side? And it's just us who are continuing to mean our men? Like, what is redemption? It's really just me asking, what is redemption? And can we spend more time asking those questions than just, doing creative writing pieces on how that person hasn't healed when it's like, okay, but what is healing? That's the part that I'm questioning.
All right. Okay. Question, Stacey. Do you listen to R. Kelly still?
No. What?
Why?
Are you kidding me?
Why?
He is a abuser, a rapist. Like, that goes without question.
No redemption possible?
No.
Why?
Because it's been abundantly clear that he's committed to being delusional about his acts and chooses to take zero accountability.
But that's what I said Jonathan Majors is doing in his interviews. It's to me, if you're comparing Jonathan Majors to R. Kelly, we're not even having a conversation. No, you were the one who said abuse is abuse.
R. Kelly has made it his business to go on public platforms and flat out lie about his actions. I don't see Jonathan Majors going on Gil King and saying, I did not do that. Y'all are trying to destroy me. Like, he's not doing that.
Oh, okay. So, see, I guess it's me reading in between the lines of his interview on Breakfast Club that has me thinking that he is looking to separate himself from the truth of what happened. And you're not seeing it like that.
She hasn't watched the interview though, to be fair.
Oh, haven't you?
No, I haven't watched the full interview.
Okay.
I've seen clips, but my issue is that it's different to just not answer the question, to essentially plead the fifth, than answer the question and lie about it.
But it wasn't.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Do you know what? I think if you care enough it would be good to watch the interview, because my issue with the interview, because when I talked about Jonathan Majors last week, I didn't talk about him with the same disgust that I talk about him today. Because last week, I gave him grace because I believed that he was doing the work that he was doing. When I've watched the full interview and I've seen him on other platforms and I'm seeing his responses and I'm seeing all the things that he's doing, my grace is capped. My grace is capped because because I believe that he's putting in more effort to convince people that he's changing as opposed to actually doing the work to change. And yes, people might argue, how do I know that? How do I not know that? That is my personal metric.
I started like feeling a bit when it is that you use the Bible, and obviously it's there
I felt
to me.
sick.
It's there
Yeah.
to me because I'm a Christian. Do you understand? And like I told you before, it's the Kanye West thing gate for me.
The no check services.
It's the Kanye West gate for me. Now I did say I'm going to give him a couple of years because I do believe in redemption. I do believe in people being able to change. Right?
Absolutely.
So I am going to be looking at what happens in the next
What comes
few
from it.
years. 100%. And that's what I said at the beginning of my little monologue, Stacey. So fair. You don't listen to R. Kelly, cool. You also don't listen to Chris Brown and Tory Lanez, right?
I listen to Chris Brown and I listen to Tory Lanez.
Okay.
All right.
My Chris Brown take is not. I was talking about it in the chat when Esther was talking about the whole Chris Brown thing. I think everyone's outraged about the Chris Brown giving money to Tory Lanez for his case thing is so bizarre, but another conversation for another day.
All right. Did Tory Lanez say that he didn't do it? Did he lie the same way you're saying R. Kelly was lying?
Sorry?
Let me ask the question again. You said that you don't listen to R. Kelly because he is still holding on to the delusion, or he lied on air, right?
But to clarify,
did Tory Lanez admit to doing it?
No, he didn't.
So he lied.
Was he lying? Yes.
Okay.
When I say I still listen to Tory, this is not me backtracking. I'm just providing for the context here. I'm not turning the lens that I go to not hear R. Kelly are not equal to the lens that I go to not hear Tory. Like, is Tory someone that was on my rotation before the whole Megan thing? Not really. His hits maybe came up on my Spotify, but like I'm not jumping to extreme lengths to be like, block, delete, not interested, don't play this again. Like I'll skip the song. Like I'm not. If it comes up and it's a vibe, cool. But I'm not. It's not an R. Kelly gravity situation to me.
All right, fair. Thank you so much for your contribution. I always appreciate when it is you calling, and the others are scared.
Always
They're
appreciated.
telling you, go, Stacey, talk, because you know full well Stacey's going to say, all right, let me grab the mic.
Next
time, tell them I'm not going to talk unless it is you come with me.
She don't even know what's coming.
Seriously, I say all the time, y'all have all the things to say in the comments. I get people might be at work and all that stuff, and I just be in the bed chilling. But like, do come and speak.
Pull up.
Because I feel like sometimes I get in here and I feel kind of crazy. Like,
you feel like you're on your own, and that's why I don't like. You understand? They will egg say go because they feel as though she's going to basically say the things that they. But come
and
true.
She doesn't, and
you know?
like cussing like, imagine.
Nah, I don't like that at all.
I think the people who agree with me in the chat are pretty consistent in backing me up in the chat while I'm speaking. But there has been several times that I'll like go back and listen almost immediately after I'm done talking to what I said, because I'm like, damn, like maybe I could have said that better, or just maybe I just didn't make sense and I was just talking out of my ass. Most of the time I don't feel that way, but it makes me question because I'd be the only one to be saying stuff.
Man, I feel it for you.
No, we all have different opinions and stuff. You definitely can't. Just because people don't understand and stuff or don't agree what you're saying doesn't mean that you're necessarily wrong, or do you know what I mean? Or you're saying something crazy. We all see things very differently, and that's okay. Make the world go round.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, babes.
No problem.
Next, Quinta Brunson, my fave from Abbott Elementary. She is getting a divorce from her husband of
a black man.
I said
right?
4 years. I think it's 3.
Black man. Right?
Excuse me. You can answer that question since you've done your word on roads. Now, her husband is a white guy. His name is Kevin Anik.
But she's getting with a black man. You wanted to get with everybody at Chris?
No, I don't, because what if everybody hates Chris has a girlfriend? I would fuming, you know. Imagine, my partner is an actor or whatever, and then they've got a love interest in the show they're acting. then we're going through like no, actually no. We're happy. But then his love interest in real life is getting a divorce, and people are wishing for my man to get with it. Excuse me.
I'm so immature, Esther.
I'm fuming.
I'm still stuck on the. I can't kiss another person like whilst acting.
Oh my gosh, you actually
feel
can't?
something. Nah, man.
And feel something or not feel something.
Not feel something because
So even if you kiss him and feel something.
Do you understand? I'm gonna.
You don't
And
have to
especially
be
if we have on set chemistry.
Hey, you're just a
hey.
You're a thief. You don't have
the maturity, I don't have the maturity, man.
No, but when you love your partner, there's nobody else that you want to be with in life.
So you can lips anybody.
I can't lips anybody.
And not feel anything.
But hey, buddy. I can't just lips anybody. But if I was an actress,
shout out to Scorcher. It's a lip syncing. He's back. He's back. He's back.
Anyway, if I was an actress and part of my role was to kiss somebody, I don't think that would make me have more feelings or less feelings for my partner.
Fair.
Because those are lips I want to get him to.
Set chemistry though. He's there
It's
making you laugh.
Great acting.
There's a little pause, and your eyes lock, and you're like, "Oh, let me just look away a bit." The moment you do that practice kiss and you feel them butterflies, you're finished.
No, you are finished.
You'll be like, all right, cool, I have to resign.
I need to change that anyway. They've been married for 3 years, sorry, my bad, not 4 years. But yeah, they're married for 3 years and whatever, and she basically filed for divorce. There's no word on anything. It was a private marriage, to be fair. Like, no one knew that was going on, to be fair. But, I mean, when she won an award last 2022 and 2023, she did shout him out on stage, saying she loves her husband and he's a very supportive man and blah, blah, blah. They have filed that the reason for the divorce is what's the word? Irreconcilable some differences.
Irreconcilable?
Irreconcilable.
Okay, cool.
Irreconcilable differences. That's what they've said. And there is a prenup there. So they basically want, I think what they wanted is just for everyone to just separate things. So what's that sound?
I don't know who's outside, but it sounds like one of your people.
Who are my people?
West Africa.
Do you know something? I have nothing to say. I didn't think you were going to say it. Fair enough. So that's what's happening. Obviously, people didn't know she was married. So there's that. But love and light to her, though. I can't imagine going through a divorce here. Because I imagine it is sad, right? Regardless of whatever the situation is. Regardless of the situation, divorces are sad and whatever. And then people are online talking about, so I hope she and Tyler James Williams get together then. Excuse me, I'm going for a divorce. But anyway, love and light to Quinta, though. What a babe. And then lastly, the internet is also cooking Cristiano Ronaldo, because he has got his obviously his lovely girlfriend, and they've been in a relationship since 2016, and they have 2 children, I believe. They've got 2 children and whatever else, and they were basically talking about the question was he was asked about when they're going to get married, and he says he's waiting for the click. So basically, the internet has just been reacting to that and talking about, wow, le click, fair enough. But as always, love and light to all parties involved. Obviously, he says he knows what he means by the click.
Does he need to get married to her though?
What do you mean? I think any smart man. If you really love a woman, and that woman has your children, especially, the smart thing to do is to protect them legally by marrying them. Yes.
If he puts certain things in place legally, so that if anything does happen to him, she's taken care of in the way that she even sees fit.
Yes.
Would you still say he needs to marry her?
I think, why wouldn't you want to marry your partner though? Because marriage is like, marriage is, I think, obviously you can have commitment in a relationship, but marriage is an extra, I think marriage is the biggest commitment that there is in a relationship. And so if you claim to love me and you want to spend the rest of your life with me and I'm who you want to be with and you want to grow old with me, what does it take for me to marry me? Because yes, people can obviously talk about, you always get the people that don't have 2P to their name talking about, when you get married, you can get divorced one day and lose it all. Or the all of nothing that they bring to the table. But forget that. He can also have a prenup if it's a thing where you don't want to get married to somebody because you feel like you're going to lose money, you're going to lose this or whatever, you can have a prenup that protects your financial interests, your material interests. But I don't see how you can I don't see how you can say you love a person and you want to be with them and you don't look to protect them legally.
Yeah, but if he has though, this is what I'm saying. If he's taken
There's
care,
no
which I
bigger
feel like
protection.
he probably has.
Probably. We
You
never
know what I mean? So if he has,
But there's no bigger protection than them protecting somebody. Like, even if you've done, like, what is, I would love to actually sit down.
And know
Maybe,
why.
yeah, like, or maybe I might even want to read psychology papers on it actually. Because I like Googling psychology and research on certain things. I find it very interesting. I want to know what the fear of marriage is.
I think it changes the dynamic for certain people. And I'll give you an example. What's his name? Sean Kuti, yeah?
Yes.
He doesn't believe in marriage, right?
At least
from a Eurocentric lens, right? He says, listen, I'm with you, we've got kids together, we've got family. But I know the moment we get married, something might change. And if that is something
He'll feel stuck. That's what changes.
But he's not stuck now.
No, but
everything works.
But that's the thing that I feel, and that I feel like that's what when we have this conversation, when people talk about marriage and why it is they don't want to make that step, and they've got children. I think having children with somebody is the biggest commitment ever. Children. But if you can make that biggest commitment, then marriage is nothing then. But I think people need to just admit that the reason why you don't want to get married to somebody is because you feel like it's going to be way more admin and way more drama if you wanted to leave this person when you feel like it than if it was a relationship where everyone just packs their bag and go.
That could be part of it.
But just say that then. Like we
on.
can't keep acting as if like we have the most important thing. No, we don't. We are not married.
But
and if you think that we have the most important thing, then marriage is nothing, then you can easily do it.
No, but it's more so that, like, sometimes, you know what the thing is? Sometimes, people have seen their families, they've seen especially you just look at the world, right? 50% in the divorces, right? And they're thinking to themselves, if there is a chance that us getting married may change the dynamic and it could end in this just being fractured or whatever, what's the point? If I know I will never leave you, we've got a family together, this thing that marriage, this certificate, to me, to the man, for example, is nothing. I'm not going to see you any differently. I'm going to make sure things are legally binding so you're taken care of.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
The kids are fine. I just don't want this certificate. Does it matter?
Why
should someone be forced into it?
Do you know I don't buy into that either? Because human beings see many people do many different things that has also proved to be quote unquote dangerous or has had negative outcomes, and they still do it. People get in plane crashes all the time. Does that stop you from going on holiday? No, it doesn't. People get kidnapped all the time. Does that stop from doing that? No. People make bad investments. Will that stop you from wanting to make an investment? No. People that are rich talk about how depressing and lonely it is to be rich, and how you should just enjoy the things that you have, and contentment is great gain. But the people still want to desire to get rich. The reality is that it's not a priority for you because the relationship that you claim is a priority for you is not a priority for you. That's the reality.
No, it's a
not
priority.
that deep.
It's
not like the reasons why people don't want to get married is not that deep. People try to act like they're fake woke by saying, oh my gosh, is what the white man has put together. It's just a piece of paper. It's just this. But yet we run our entire lives based off pieces of paper. Some of the pieces of paper, we can't even see. Why can't we see them? Because they're digital. But you still live your life by this digital piece of paper. It is just not a priority for you, and it's okay to say that. You don't have to try and come up with, I'm not talking about you, I mean people that have this mindset. You don't have to try and come up with some profound reason as to why it is that you don't want to get married and, oh my gosh, we already have the kids. I can't understand how you can claim, like, if I was with a man and I want to get married, he doesn't want to get married. And his argument to me is that we already have the most important things. And that is love in this household and these children that I birthed. I don't understand how then this thing that you claim is not as important, you can't just do it. If it's not that important. And I get the whole, oh, you've never had good examples of marriages. Oh, you've never had good examples of relationships that prosper and blah, blah, blah, blah. You probably never had good examples of good wealth. You probably never had examples of good health. Does that mean you don't go to the gym and try and make better of yourself? These things, you will get the outcome in your relationship, in your marriage, that you put in. Saying that you come from a broken home is not reasons to say that you don't want to get married. That is trauma that you need to work on. I'm sorry, but these things for me, the way I hear it, are just lame excuses, because then people are not being honest about what it really is. I did not grow up in a two-parent household, but I've always desired marriage. I haven't actually, the kind of marriage that I want, I haven't seen that. But guess what? I knew it existed. And I knew that, when it is that I'm ready to get married, this is the kind of thing that I want. Saying that you've seen many divorces around you is not reason it's not reason enough to say that that's why I'm not going to get married. You don't know what's going on in those people's marriages. They can tell you this is why we're getting divorced, but you don't know what's going on in there. You don't know why they picked their partner. People are together for vibes. People are together because they just had a child. People are together because it's arranged marriage. People get together for many different reasons. For you to look at somebody's relationship and say that, oh, because everyone around me has had a divorce, then I think it's best that we don't have a marriage. You don't know what they did. I think those excuses to me, I understand that as human beings, I understand all of that stuff, but after a while, my empathy is capped for that because there's so many other things that we see negatively for people to pursue. I think the excuses are lame.
You're entirely right about there's so many other things that are negative, right?
Yeah.
That we still do. But if you combine all of those, you're finished. You know what I'm saying? You can't live a life that way, right?
I think really just need to be honest. That's it.
Yeah, but
it's okay to be honest. Like it's okay to say, do you know what, marriage is not a priority for me.
No, 100%. It's not that.
I just want to be able to leave whenever I want to.
No, but
that's
it's
fair.
not that because I don't think Ronaldo has any plan. I don't know him, right? But how many kids ago? Like 6, right?
Yeah, but from a previous relationship.
Yeah, but she.
I don't even, were they married? That previous one?
No, I think. Oh, what was it?
I think she died. She was ill or something like that, wasn't it? And then she became the stepmother to those children. I remember it was like a whole sweet thing that he thought was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, something anyway, right? But he's got kids with her as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he has any plans to go. No plans. So in his head, where's he going? 6 kids with this woman that has done all of these amazing things and he bigs up every opportunity he gets.
You know the joys of being a man that women are now, that I would actually tap into as a woman if I was ever in that position.
But what do you gain?
Is leaving kids behind and moving on my life. That's one of the joys of men. Everyone always talks about when it's a man that's got kids, it's never labeled a baggage. We hear it in the language. No one can deny it. Anyone that denies it is just intentionally being obtuse. When it's a woman with children, it's, oh yeah, but you know, she's got baggage. What are we talking about? He could up and leave anytime he feels like it.
Yeah, any man can do that, right?
No, but any man can. A lot of men can.
Yeah.
But and even if you're married, you absolutely can. But my thing is though, you can't tell me that we have all these things and we're basically married, but we're not.
So is it fair then? So is it?
I think it's unfair.
No. I mean, is it more fair, like FEAR, for the women to say, I want this security?
Yeah.
That's the reason why. Because in my head, I'm hearing what you're saying from the man's side, but from the woman's side, could it be that? Wait a minute. The man said, I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you all of me. All this family time, all the things that protect you legally in terms of the houses, the money, anything happens to me, it's yours, right? Why do you need a certificate?
Because I need that commitment. A man can tell me
Even though he's giving you everything.
A man can tell me he's as committed to me as anything in the world. If we are not married, that is not true commitment in my eyes.
But there are many certificates out there, and the men are not committed.
And that's the thing. That's fair though. But then I can say that I did my due diligence. Sometimes as well, like sometimes the things that I desire is for me to have that peace of mind that I did everything that I needed to do on my part. Yes, there are men who are in marriages and then they go on and have other families elsewhere and all that. Of course, all of that stuff exists. However, though, when I'm relaying this story, let it be said that I ticked every box I was meant to. Let it be said that I did everything that I needed to do to protect myself. I'm not in control of someone's character after I've married them or whatever. Like, I'm not in control of how someone else, whatever someone else is. However, I'm not in control of the value someone decides to place on a marriage after we got married. However, though, I know that I did everything I need to do. I ticked all the boxes I need to do. You can never tell me that you are as committed to your partner if you're not married to them. What do you mean? Am I sure? Of course, it's my thoughts. I'm very sure.
No.
Even if you're not religious, whether you're Muslim, Christian, whatever the case is, you can just go and do a civil wedding. It doesn't have to be a whole hullabaloo. It doesn't have to be a whole party. It doesn't have to be all of that stuff. But you can't tell me that you have made all the steps of commitment because you've got children and you've got houses together, you've got bills together, you've got businesses together. I'm sorry. The ultimate commitment for me is marriage. And you can't tell me that you've given me everything but this thing, because that means that you're basically saying to me that everything else is more important than this certificate. And if that's the case, then let's get a certificate then. If the certificate is not that deep, what is it to you then to want to make your partner happy and be like, you know what, I know there's something that you really care about. I love you enough to do it because it will make you happy.
What is better? I'm not saying, God forbid, I'm not saying choose this for yourself. I'm just saying, what is better, do you think?
Yeah.
I know you can't speak for all women, but to have a certificate and there to be some issues there, right? And because of the certificate, because we all know the certificate makes it harder for people to leave.
Yeah.
Right? It does aid the commitment thing, right? So there's issues there, but you know the certificate's there, or there's no certificate and there's no issues.
I don't think it's one or the other. Because with the certificate, people are more likely then to want to make this work.
With the certificate.
With the certificate. But without the certificate, it's easy to walk away. But I think that's the thing with when it's marriage talk as well. People make it seem as if it's got to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It can be without certificate with problem and with certificate with problem, or it can be with certificate with no problem and without certificate with without certificate problems. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. And I don't think it's a thing about choosing. I just think that when we're talking about commitment, you are not truly committed to your partner if you're not married.
And do you see that? I think you mentioned this before, but I just want to be clear. Are you saying even with just the religious one, without the what's
the certificate?
Yeah, you know the one that
the court wedding.
Yeah, thank you. Without yes, without that thing there that you signed.
Oh no, the civil wedding is what you need to do. Oh, big up Madam Joyce, because Madam Joyce put the people on to something that's very important. I've been shouting from the rooftops. Some of you are getting married to people that are just doing traditional weddings.
So
then
really...
wait, sorry. And then you think you're married. How cute. And then now things break up and all everyone has to do is just pack their bag and go. There is no record that you ever married. That is the same thing as someone not marrying you at all. Culture is important, absolutely. However, the back home, culture was binding.
Yeah.
In the West, it's not. It's not binding. So when you're doing this cultural thing that you're doing in the West, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but when you're doing it here, you're being finessed. If you think that all you have, you are being finessed clean. If you think because you got a marriage certificate, because you did a traditional wedding and they exchanged a few yams and whatnot, you think that you're married? You're a clown. You're a clown.
But
because when it comes to separating, what do you have to do except just let your families know? You can even do that on WhatsApp these days. What do you have to do? What is there to do? The courts is not even getting involved. There's nothing other than everyone just go. You go to the house, I go to my house, and do you know what? With the right PR behind you, it's as if it never happened. It just vanishes.
You know what the thing is, yeah?
Go to the courts and get the certificate. Stop being played.
Do you know, I fully hear what you're saying. But I think when a lot of men hear this, yeah, especially maybe rich men as well, with a lot to lose, they think to themselves, I'm not hearing somebody who cares necessarily, prioritize the love and the union we have, but more so, they want to make sure that if something happens, they will punish me, number one. But number two, also, they are free to do whatever they want in terms of like maybe the stress, there's laxness in terms of arguments. So for example, if I know I saw a red flag, 6 months into us dating, we get married, just in terms of, Brent style on the island. we just say it to each other.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We're together, right? We signify that moment by having children, right? We're together and all that sort of stuff. In the woman's head, I think a lot of men feel, correct me if I'm wrong, that they now have to watch what they say and do to some degree. Because if they don't, they may think this thing could go. But when the certificate is there, it's less so I have to watch my behavior as such. I can get away with certain things because you can't leave me. I don't have to, there's more of an investment on your side. And I know you don't want to lose that investment. So the onus is on trying to keep him there because of what he may lose, rather than trying to keep him there because of how great I am.
But that's a relationship that's a mindset of people that shouldn't be together. That shouldn't be in a relationship. I feel like, I think if you think that your partner wants to get married to you is only because of your wealth, then that's not something you should be marrying. Because people talk about wealth as if it's something that's always going to be there. You could lose your wealth. And if you lost your wealth, you'd want your partner to be there with you, wouldn't you? Like the reality of relationship, like not many people are the 1% are Jeff Bezos, where when you get married, this will be what happens, blah, blah. But also there are situations like Jeff Bezos where your partner does contribute to that, where your partner has decided, like, I'm going to take, what is that? Is that Tom Brady? And his wife decided to stay at home and whatever else. And it's like, okay, I will make the sacrifice so you can go on and be great. And then now we're not together and you think I should just walk away with nothing after I've sacrificed my prime years and what I could have spent building my wealth to help you, because you told me we're a family, and now you think I should walk away. But if wealth is something that's very, very important to you, then you have no business getting married, but let people know that you don't want to marry them. Don't make them think something that's going to come in at some point in the future and waste their time. Or if you do, because people, and it's weird because people always bring up these examples, but a lot of rich people are married.
Oh, of course.
But that's what I find weird though, because you've got normal people who haven't touched that level of wealth doing hypotheticals, and it's hypotheticals because it's just ghetto black talk, right? Doing hypotheticals about this imaginary money they've yet to acquire and losing that. But actually, rich people being married is actually gains you social status.
Oh, so much.
Being married has so much value in those spaces, regardless of what the person's gonna take away of it. And if you're so pressed about what your partner could possibly take, then what you do is that you have prenups, you build trust. Like there's legal ways to do these things. That's why I say I can't entertain these conversations, because respectfully, not literally poor, but compared to the very wealthy, it's the poor man. It's the everyday man who has the everyday normal salary, below the top 20% of the wealthy, that are always worried about money that they don't have. But then again, in those circles, actually, marriage is a form. It's valuable. Like you will hear men in corporate spaces who would tell you that they want to get married because it will earn them a promotion. So why are you then on this side, as not you literally, but you know what I mean, people that say these things, why are you on this side talking about, but when I leave, if we break up, she's gonna take everything. And again, money comes and goes, and that's why I say that people that in the example you gave me, they don't need to be with each other. If you're gonna get married and your biggest thing is money, you don't need to be together.
It's not necessarily the money. It's just more so that I think the dynamics can change. And people have said this so many times, and they think it's reflected in the whole 50% divorce rates, right? And they think, wait a minute, if the dynamic changes and you now start behaving in a way that you wouldn't behave if we weren't married, you are now banking on the fact that because I don't want to lose all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, I will now stay here.
But what is behavior? What kind of behaviors are those though?
It might just be little things that just take the piss, isn't it? That, for example, if you saw in your time up to the marriage, you would leave. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I need an example of things like that though, because I don't see, like, what could I not have done before I got married? But now I feel like, okay, we've got the certificate now, he's not going to walk away. Because again, when we see the divorces, people do walk away. And again, if that's something that you're worried about, then make the steps that you need to make to protect your interest then. Like, it's not that difficult. It's just not that difficult. And I think I appreciate people saying these are the reasons why they don't want to get married than saying to me that you got my children, you got this, I'm already committed to you.
But it's because it's also true though. Because people actually feel like, wait a minute, I can't go another day or a day without seeing my children. I really want to raise it. I'm not going anywhere.
How many single parents are there? But we say that, but how many single parents are there? But you say those people as if the statistics are not going up every single day.
Yeah, but
how many people, and again, yes, I know this thing can happen in marriage, but again, it's a different kind of conversation when it happens in marriage though. But having a child with somebody, how many people are together, boyfriend and girlfriend, like the family knows, come to the family barbecue all the time, they got all these kids together, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. After 15 years, they go their separate ways. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like for me, I personally, this are all my opinions. I'm not asking anyone to, I don't need a crowd, I don't need the black community supporting me on this one, don't care. But, I mean, I definitely care. Actually, I don't care unless it's my personal circle where I'm going to be bombarded with this conversation. But you can't tell me that you have made the ultimate commitment by having children with your partner, and the certificate is not that important. Marriage is not that important. If it's not that important, then do it. Then this is always my thing. If it's not that important, if it's not that big a deal, then just do it.
I hear what you're saying, but you know, I think it's just more than that. You know what I mean?
You also go to therapy, man.
Also, one last point. Remember the rich man. Yeah. Again, I don't know. This might be the thinking. The rich man may have 10 different houses. Even if I lose half, I have 5. Yeah. Those men you're talking about, who are not rich, that doing the hypotheticals, they may have one home.
Yeah, but the rich
are divorced. They have no home.
The rich are greedier. The rich are greedier than people that are not wealthy like them.
No, but they always.
No, but you say that though. But they're always searching for money. They're always searching for money. How to make? They don't want to lose a grain of rice. How many times do we hear about rich people that are actually stingy? There's a reason why rich people and wealthy people don't become very, very wealthy and spend it on the homeless and spend it on the world. They don't always get together. When the camera's off, they don't all get together and decide to make the world less poor because they've just got so much to give. So no, human beings are human beings. Human beings wouldn't want to share whatever the case might be. I just think people just be honest. If you don't want to marry somebody, just be honest. I think deep down people know that they don't really want to be with the person, but it's a thing of convenience. And there are people that are married for that reason as well. But stop being finessed. Good luck to Ronaldo and his girlfriend.
All the best.
Let's get to People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. There's quite a bit to talk about, but I'm going to try and be quick
Before you start,
due to time. Yes, bro.
is there a white economist that you see on YouTube recently? I think he was on the Diary of a CEO.
On the what, sorry?
The Diary of a
yeah.
CEO just a couple of days
Gary
ago.
something.
Yeah, have you ever seen him?
Yeah.
Are your views aligned with
No.
his? All right. You know, he said that Labour contacted him.
Yeah, I saw that thing, but I've not watched the video yet.
Yeah.
And he's asking if he should work with them or something.
Yeah.
Do you know, I don't want to say anything. But yeah, I mean, big him up, man. He's been putting in a lot of work in terms of the media, the social media and stuff, innit? For some time now, innit? But I think now, especially when he went into Piers Morgan, from then, he's everywhere now. I've seen him everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's doing a lot, man. He's got the background. He went to LSE, did amazing in his economics and whatnot. Got loads of money in doing finance and whatnot. But what he says, to me personally, I don't fully agree with him. And my own critique is that I don't think he gives enough solutions. It's just a lot of, this is not going to work. I know this. I bet this 14 years in a row. I'm always right. But nothing, there's no solution. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really care too much, sort of thing. But, you know, big him up though, man. He's doing a lot of, stuff. But yes, people. First thing I want to talk about is the Chancellor's spring statements. This is coming up. I believe it's going to be out on Wednesday. A lot of things are expected to change. We already know certain things are going to be coming into basically going to be realised from the 1st of April. And we spoke about some of these things already because of the autumn budget. But to be fair, I'm not going to speak too much about this. One of the headlines we already spoke about as well, which speaks about what she's going to be doing, which is cutting a lot of these public services jobs. She's ruled out tax and spend policies, saying that she's not going to be raising taxes or any government budgets and stuff like this. Again, before Labour got into power, I said that they will increase the taxes, even though they said they wouldn't. I said this will be more of the same, even though they said they wouldn't. Even though people said, no, get rid of the Tories, it can't get worse. I'm pretty sure if you're not feeling it now, you'll continue to feel it, or you'll start to feel it. Not a curse, just a reality. This is what happens. It's going to be more austerity. It's going to be more tightening of the belt and cutting back on budgets. Of course, they're going to keep saying it's because of the £22 billion black hole. Excuses. The main thing needs to be about growth. So if Rachel Reeves can bring out something that's really going to start the growth element of it, then happy days. I really want her to win, man, to be fair, because it affects all of us. But I'm not that optimistic, because they didn't have the greatest start in terms of what was left for them to work with, you know what I mean? So it's not all their fault. But yeah, we'll see what happens. On Wednesday or maybe Thursday or Friday, when the spring statement's out, we'll delve into it. Next thing I wanted to mention is apparently hundreds of schools and hospitals across the UK are set to receive £180 million for solar panels. Yes.
In the UK? Yes. The sunless UK. All right.
When I tell, you know what?
How much is that again?
£180 million.
That's so nice.
For solar panels from the government's new state-owned energy company. Yeah.
Sorry, speaking of which, you were right actually. The Black Autonomy is the 7th of April. I thought it was the 1st. Remember we were talking about it, I said it was the 1st, yeah, it's the 7th.
It's around the corner. It's around the corner, man. This was happening. So yeah, we spoke about this on the show before about the Great British GB Energy, right? Great British Energy. That's the first major investment that Starmer and them really wanted to start. It was announced last Friday that basically they're trying to do this to, do the whole green energy sort of thing, reduce the country's planet warming emissions, carbon, all that sort of stuff. And this is what they're spending. So 180 million pounds for solar panels. Like Esther said, in this country where there's no sun. When they increase taxes, this is why I always say to you, they will squander it. But hopefully we are wrong. Next thing I wanted to mention is, according to official figures,
maybe solar panels can use wind sometimes. 'Cause that's crazy,
Yeah, and even then, anyway, that's another thing. Official figures apparently suggest that more than a fifth of the UK, the working age adults anyway, are still not in work or actively looking for work. So again, this is the reason why they're making changes to PIP, right? Personal independence payments. So the whole welfare state, all that's changed. We spoke about this, I believe, last week. The Secretary spoke about that. But again, it probably will be reiterated in this spring statement as well. They're just cutting back on everything, right? And pretty much what they're doing is they're changing the parameters and the criteria to basically force people into work. If you are fully entitled, they believe you meet the criteria, I believe you're going to get a bit more, right? But overall, the threshold will be a bit higher and more people find that they're out of receiving their universal credit or PIP. Interest rates. So the Bank of England, they warned basically economic and global trade uncertainty has intensified, and that's the reason why they've held UK interest rates at 4.5%. Apparently they are saying by the end of the year there'll be 2 reductions, probably go down 0.25% each time, like they've done already. So the most we can hope for is for it to be down to 4%. Something, but people are saying do more. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, this kind of fuels the inequality because the rich can afford to maybe just leave their money in bank accounts and benefit off the so-called interest, right? Whilst it's too expensive for people to borrow to then spend or to finance their lives and stuff. So do more to bring it down and then, get people out there spending and doing certain things. So again, it's a tough decision. The Chancellor can force the Bank of England to do certain things. Obviously, most chancellors don't like to, but Santander, they've announced that they're looking to close 95 branches across the UK. That's going to put 750 jobs at risk. So the High Street Bank said that its customers are increasingly shifting to banking online. And so there's no point in having these actual buildings, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to be closing it down. And so 750 jobs are going to be at risk. 95 branches across the UK are going to be closing. Ben & Jerry's. So they had an issue. I wanted to mention this last week, but they had an issue, right? Their chief executive, David Stever, has been removed from the parent company, Unilever, right? Because of this growing dispute over their political activism. So Ben & Jerry's, they like to every now and again come out and basically show their activism, basically. You know what I mean? Like they back certain campaigns, so be it climate change, be it LGBTQ+, whatever it may be it Palestine, whatever it may be. And obviously Unilever doesn't like that. So in November, they filed a lawsuit saying that Unilever tried to stop them from expressing support for Palestinian refugees, right? In November, so last month, another court filing, there was another one where Ben & Jerry's basically said that Unilever tried to ban it from publicly criticizing Donald Trump. So anytime Ben & Jerry's want to use their position, you actually do some good from their perspective. Unilever, the parent company, is basically saying, chill, relax. And basically this is what's been happening with them. So they're going back and forth. And Ben & Jerry's boss has been kicked out, basically, because of that. And the next thing I wanted to mention is Google has agreed to pay $28 million in a racial bias lawsuits. They claimed, apparently, they paid that to settle the lawsuit, right? Because it claimed that white and Asian employees were given better pay and career opportunities than workers from other ethnic backgrounds. Obviously, they had their proof or whatever. And Google doesn't want to take it further, so they're paying $28 million. And that is pretty much it. That is pretty much it for the People's Journal.
All right, let's get into Arsenal for a friend quickly. Okay, 3 quick ones. First one, person's 24 and is a woman. Hey y'all, I'm mixed. My dad is black and my mum is white, and we want to go on holiday in 2 weeks' time to Jamaica for the first time. It's the first time my mum will be coming with us, as me, my sisters, and brother have been only with my dad. I would just like advice on what hairstyles would you recommend for my mum, braid-wise, because she wants to keep her hair a protective style, I guess, if it works for white women, but she doesn't want a style that could invoke cultural appropriation discourse. What do you recommend? Or should my mum do another hairstyle? Preferably would like if the girlies would be here for this. Just remind me of when Monica went in Friends. She was like, with the beads.
Yeah.
Your mum can just get, what's it called, French plaits, no? Just 2 French plaits down. That's simple. I don't know, maybe someone in the chat can help, but I find it weird when I see white women with with braids and stuff. I just think it's not for your hair texture. It's a protective style. Blah blah blah. Like, I feel like your mum could just do cute little plaits, like 2 plaits. You know what I mean? French plaits, and that's nice. She could just plait her hair. No, is that cultural appropriation? Is getting braids?
I don't know nowadays.
Probably. I don't know. Christy, actually no, Christy. Never mind. I don't know. Can some of the women in the chat help, please? I don't know if that's cultural. Like, I'm trying to think of how I feel when I see, but I don't know if I'm just being weird for thinking it's weird. But white women get plaits, just literally 2. I think your mum just needs to get 2 plaits. I'll be very real with you. I think anything else, she might be towing the line a little bit.
Isn't that easy for just to put it in a bun and keep it there?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's protective about?
I don't know. Because it depends what kind of hair her mum has as well. Because
white.
not all white hair is like silky and stuff. She might have like really frizzy hair or whatever. So it depends.
Okay.
Like white hair textures are different as well. But I think your mum should just do 2 plaits, 2 cute little plaits, and just have that down. Because when she's going out at night time, she can then clip it up. She can have it down. When she takes that out, that'll be wavy. There's that. I don't know. Maybe I guess doing braids might be cultural. I think braids is cultural appropriation. I think it is.
To be fair, you're not doing it here though. Do it in Jamaica, they won't mind.
They won't mind, but then you got the family pictures. The family holiday pictures for a while. That's a bit orcs. Let's see what the chat is saying. Finan says, just do whatever. You're going to get cussed regardless, LOL. G says, tell her to go with her white hairstyles like a normal white woman. Well, I didn't mean to meet that, but fair. Lil Sco's base God something says, cultural appropriation doesn't exist where I'm from. We exchange ideals in America, but I don't know. America was where Kim Kardashian did braids and started calling the Kardashian braids, so fair. Nikki says, why does she need a protective style? Christy's just sending laughing emojis. So, yeah. I don't know. I think Blacker says, your mum has been with your dad long enough. She knows what to do and what not to do. Christy says, maybe this is the reason she's going for the first time, as this questions you're asking. Well, TC says she's protecting her hair from the people. So, it is tricky. So, do you know what? Starcrow says, ask Chat GPT. That might be my favorite one so far.
Yeah, fair enough.
So if my mum does braids, my white mum does braids, will it be seen as cultural appropriation? I think mommy should just do 2 cute little French plaits and just keep it, because they're even called French plaits. Do you know what I mean? It's the braids, they're not called braids, it's called French plaits. I think your mum should do that. But have a lovely time though. The next person is a man and he's age 38. I can visibly see my youngest son is getting bullied in school by a girl. I see him getting teased whenever I pick him up from school, and I always ask him if there's a problem, but he always denies it and says he'll sort it. I think he's embarrassed that a girl is giving him hassle. I want to respect my son and his wishes and his space, but it irks me as a dad. What do you recommend I do as a parent? I can't lie. If the person giving my son headache was a boy, I would handle it a certain way, but because it's a girl, I feel I'd have to approach it differently. With regards to my ex-wife, my children's mother, she's not in the picture. She works in Vegas now as a florist, and she left me for a Nigerian deacon. I don't know what you had to tell us that. You need to go to therapy. There's still some hurt there, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. I think you should speak to his teachers about it. I think even if it was a young boy, please don't handle things by yourself because you will go to jail. And now your parents are in foster care, and now it's just a whole thing. I think that you should speak to your child's teacher. I get that you want to respect your child's wishes, but I think that as a parent, that's what being a parent is, having to find that balance of respecting your child's wishes, but also having to look after and protect them. Because if someone is out, if a girl is out here is making your child's life miserable in school, she has no right to do that. Absolutely nobody has a right to do that. So I think what you should do first of all is speak to the teacher. Speak to your child's teacher and let them obviously know that you're come to them in a confidential manner, and can they please keep an eye and just watch them. Do you get what I mean? Just watch the interaction your son has in school and stuff like that, and then if they peep anything, then they can let the child know and call in the parents if they need to. But I think go the school route, or because you can't really hang around school playgrounds and stuff. It's crazy work. It's a crime. So I would say that. I think speak to the teachers. I think speak to your child's teacher and stuff and see what's going on. If you know the girl, speak to her parent directly. Just say, listen, you're raising a little nuisance. She's getting my child. Yeah, I think, do that. That's what I would say. Thoughts?
To be fair, kind of like what you said, man. Like, you've got to just speak to the teachers, unfortunately, man. But oh no, I don't know. How old is the boy? He doesn't say.
I don't care if my son is 2 years old. I don't care if my son is 1.5. I don't care how old the child is. If it's 8, 10, don't bully my child.
I'm trying to think of whether he should try and tell the son to do something in it. But then...
Yeah, definitely teach him to stand up for himself as well, though.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to be careful nowadays about how you do that, because people can go crazy and...
No, you have to teach your children to stand up for themselves, regardless of whoever they're talking to, and let them know that people shouldn't push them around. And, like, obviously, men are raised, not all men, so everyone calm down. You're not having to do these disclaimers, honestly.
That's why I don't bother.
It just drains me. Makes me want to talk, but we have to talk on the show. Anyway, obviously men are always told not to hit women. And there are women that think, or girls and women that think that because men are taught not to hit women and girls, it means that they can then hit guys. I don't subscribe to that personally. So, that being said, is why you need to teach your son to stand up for himself. I don't believe in teaching your children to be violent, because it's just not it. But I think he should definitely teach let his son know to stand up for himself, and don't let anyone talk to you anyway, blah blah blah. And whatever age he's at, he still needs to report it to school authorities, because the last thing you want is for your child to lash back, and now your child is getting kicked out of school. So whatever it is, unfortunately, when you're in situations where the higher authorities are present, let it at least be on record that at some point you complained as a parent that your child is being bullied, and your son has also come forward saying he's being bullied, and then whatever happens from there, you have grounds to sue the school or complain or file a police report. Do you get what I mean? Like, you've got grounds for that. So, but yeah.
All right.
Okay. Last one. This person's age 43. Also a man. My son's girlfriend... why'd you say it twice? It said my son's girlfriend. My son's girlfriend's political views are very problematic. She's got black skin, but seems like the spawn of Nigel Farage. Damn. She's Kemi 2.0. I don't want to drive a wedge between my son and myself, but genuinely, I feel as if his involvement with this young lady could potentially lead to so. Fortunately, he isn't as extreme with his views as she is, but the association with her is frightening for me. I want my son to be his own man, but I'm scared that out of love for this woman, it can drive him away from our family. How can I get this news across to him? Well, that I really despise his girlfriend or lady friends? If Brent and E-Man can chime in, I'd appreciate it, because I know they both have kids.
You got Brent and that.
Brent's kid at the bottom of the cliff. What are you talking about? The Margs and E-Man have children. That's awkward, boy. Just interesting, though, how people think that political views don't matter in relationships. And it really does, you know.
Yeah,
you could live the rest of your life listening to someone supporting Trump. Oh, I don't know.
What I'd say is defeat her with good points. That's it, man. Like, we can't be so...
Have you ever met spawns of Nigel Farage? So sport management for her is crazy.
But I feel like, again, obviously I could be wrong here, innit? But you may be exaggerating a bit. You know what I'm saying? So it might just be that you really hate that she's on the right and she's kind of moving crazy.
That's true.
Because why does your son like this woman if she's that bad? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's insane. You know the black woman that's on that GB News? What's her name? Is it Equia or is it Efua?
Oh, that woman, that Ghanaian woman. Yeah, I know her.
Like, if she's like that, for real, then cool. But then why is your son with her? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to be raised by you, like, and still be attracted to that person. So I'm assuming you're kind of exaggerating. You really don't like her political views, but she's just on the right? So my thing would be defeat her position and your son's new position with facts. Make him see the light. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when you try any other means, just like hatred or maybe something that just makes it seem as though you have no real argument for it, it's going to make your position look weak, and he's going to be more justified in being on that side. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, people just want what's best for themselves. And if he genuinely believes that that newfound political position is good for him, and she's intelligent and she can articulate those points amazingly, then it probably will. But you know what I mean? Like, why is a political position so crazy that it's going to drive a wedge in your family like that?
Those things are important, you know.
It is, but
because you got to think about how much time you spend with the family, and like if he spends a lot of time with his son, and by proxy his future daughter-in-law, like, and you're having conversations or whatever. Sometimes conversations about politics and stuff like that, and all these views and social issues can get oh my heart, can get quite intense. That it just makes you not want to hang around people. Like, there's some people I wouldn't be chilling with because I know what their views are on political stuff, and if social issues comes up, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't care to hear it, and it's annoying. And I think, especially when it comes to that social issues and stuff like that, there's something that you would take that mean a lot more to you than other person. And for me, I feel like certain things, someone's views on certain things is very telling of the character that I just haven't had the chance to meet. Do you get what I mean? So it can create a wedge very easily.
Yeah, I guess so. But I'll just say, like, defeat that position with real, like, facts and stuff. Because if your position is correct, I'm assuming you believe it is, then
but she believes hers as well, though. That's the problem.
But then have the meeting of the minds. You know what I'm saying? Like, speak to your son. If the politics comes up, tell him why his position is wrong or weaker than yours or whatever it may be, and win that way. You know what I'm saying? Because not everyone on the right is a maniac. Even Blackwell mentioned in the chat, Esther. I can't remember her surname. I'm not too sure if it's got it right. No, Esther Krakwe or something like that. She's on the Piers Morgan show a lot of the time, and she used to write articles for the Daily Mail. She's on the right, but she's not crazy on the right. She's just like conservative, right?
Yeah.
To me, her views, I don't see the problem. You know what I'm saying? But if, again, she's like the black woman on GB News, that kind of looks like she just wants to be white and loved by white people, then I understand your issue here. You know what I mean? But again, why is your son finding that sort of person attractive? You know what I mean? But ultimately, the argument has to win, man. You can't just try and push somebody away because you don't like them and their demeanor. Why don't you? Defeat it with facts. You know what I'm saying? Defeat it with a proper, strong argument. You can't appeal to that lady there. You know what I'm saying?
Which is pretty.
Yeah, big her up, man. But yeah, she's gonna have loads of views that a lot of black people don't agree with, but I don't think she's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? She's not crazy, in my opinion, anyway. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what I would say, man.
Okay, Brent.
Unless if you don't mind updating the asking for a friend and saying some of the crazy views she has, so we can understand. But yeah.
If your son loves her, I don't see the problem. Because is it that your son has these same views? Is it that the views that she holds doesn't really matter to him? And if that's the case, he loves her. What's up?
Fair.
Yeah.
So what matters to you? Your son's happiness or
your
happiness? You ain't gotta. Yeah. Well.
And they're not in the house anymore. I'm sure they'll leave and make their own family.
Yeah.
They're allowed to have their own views outside of what you want them to have.
Yeah.
You can't choose your son's wife.
That's the thing.
Because
what's the chances of you ever meeting somebody that has or your son having a girlfriend or wife, or whatever, that has the same views that you have. Sometimes, yeah, you just gotta tolerate things, and I think ultimately, though, you just as you would in normal life, you just need to know people that you would have certain conversations with, and certain people you wouldn't have certain conversations with. That the same people I wouldn't have conversations about certain political issues or social issues with, because we differ in the things that we believe in, and it's to no end. Because I'm not gonna come on your side, you're not gonna come on my side, and I have other things to do with my energy. So
Yeah, is it son of Mukmuk or something? He's made his decision and
he's laying in it,
yeah, man.
literally,
Maybe it's a son problem. Maybe he also has these particular views.
and you just don't know.
Yeah, and I don't have children.
He does not.
Nope.
All right, last headlines, please.
All right, people, big trigger warning on this one. Just in case I get the names wrong, forgive me. But police in Scotland have arrested and charged a third teenager in connection with the death of 15-year-old Amen Takle in Glasgow. The arrest of the 16-year-old boy follows the arrest of two other boys, 14 and 15, earlier this month. Amen, who was an Eritrean refugee, had recently been granted right to remain by the Home Office and was found seriously injured on Clarendon Road in Glasgow at about 10:30 p.m. on the 5th of March. Emergency services pronounced him dead at the scene, and police launched a murder investigation shortly afterwards. At a vigil held in Glasgow by the schoolboy 2 days later, his father described him in a statement as a remarkable teenager who loved music and was light on his feet on the football pitch. His sister, Delina, who's 17, previously told BBC Scotland that her brother hoped to gain UK citizenship and become a doctor or engineer. She said that this was very unexpected and shocking for us. I just think this is a dream and I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm still in denial. Damn shame. Next headline, and the chief executive of National Grid has claimed that Heathrow Airport had enough power from other substations despite Friday's shutdown. Around 1,300 flights were affected after a fire knocked out an electricity substation in Hayes on Thursday evening. Operations were not able to resume until Friday evening. And John Pettigrew, who's from National Grid, said that there were two other substations always available for the distribution network companies and Heathrow to take power. In his first comments since the disruption, Mr. Pettigrew told the Financial Times that there was no lack of capacity from the substations. Each substation individually can provide enough power to Heathrow. In response to the comments, a Heathrow Airport spokesperson said, as the National Grid's chief executive, John Pettigrew, noted that he has never seen a transformer failure like this in his 30 years in the industry. His view confirms that this was unprecedented. This incident was an unprecedented one, and that it would not have been possible for Heathrow to operate uninterrupted. Hundreds of critical systems across the airport were required to be safely powered down and then safely and systematically rebooted. Given Heathrow's size and operational complexity, safely restarting operations after a disruption of this magnitude was a significant challenge. In our last headline, big up the Catholics. Pope Francis made his first public appearance in 5 weeks before being discharged from the hospital, where he survived a severe case of pneumonia that twice threatened his life and raised the prospect of a papal resignation or funeral. The 88-year-old pontiff waved and gave a big thumbs up as he said, thank you everyone, to those who gathered below this window, including patients wheeled outside to see him deliver a Sunday blessing from Rome's Gemelli Hospital. Using a wheelchair, as he has for several years, the Pope, whose face looked swollen, smiled and waved at the well-wishers. I see this woman with yellow flowers. Brava. This is what Pope Francis said through a microphone held up to him. He gave a weak sign of the cross before being wheeled back inside. After saying goodbye to hospital staff, Pope Francis returned to the Vatican to begin at least 2 months of rest, rehabilitation, and convalescence. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
All right, let's go into reaction.
All right, people, welcome to the reaction. There were some games. Brent, did you watch any of the games? The UEFA Nations League?
England.
Yes.
Miles Lewis Skelly scored.
International debut.
Yes.
England's youngest ever goal-scoring debutant, 18 years old. Big him up. Captain Harry Kane also added a second goal late in the second half. And basically they won, man. They beat Albania 2-0. So what? Do people actually care about these tournaments?
Yeah, they get an opportunity to say, "Come on, England," and pray that they don't get injured for their team, the domestic team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there were some quarterfinals as well. France, well, in the UEFA Nations League, France beat Croatia 2-0. But then it went to extra time and penalties because, it was 2-2 on aggregate. And France eventually beat them on penalties 5-4. Portugal beat Denmark 5-2, 5-3 on aggregate. Germany beat Italy 5-4 on aggregate, but in that game, it was 3-3. And Spain also drew with Netherlands 3-3. But then Spain went on to beat them 5-4 on penalties. There's going to be some games today as well. England's going to be taking on Latvia, 7:45. Same group K. And Albania, who they beat 2-0, are going to be taking on Andorra. And there isn't much else, to be fair. Fundora, I think I spoke about Fundora last week, Friday. He's a champion, unified champion at 154. This guy is just super tall. I don't even know what he is. Looks like he's 6'5" or something, 6'6" maybe. Super slim as well, obviously, because he's 154. But he stopped, what's his name, Booker. 4th round, knocked him out. And that was his first defense of his title after beating, what's his name, Tim Tszyu. So yeah, man, he dominated the fight. He utilized his jab and his reach advantage to land powerful punches, culminating in a knockdown and subsequent TKO victory. The CompuBox statistics highlighted his dominance, showing him outlanding Booker significantly in both total and the power punches as well. And despite a long layoff due to stalled negotiations with Errol Spence, again, yeah, I definitely spoke about this on Friday. Everyone in the chat, are we going to see Errol Spence again? What do you guys think? Do you think Errol Spence is ever going to show his face? And if you do think he will, what level do you think he's going to be at? But yeah, Fundora also showcased his readiness effectively, countering Booker's southpaw stance, man. Long story short, he dominated the whole damn fight and stopped him in the 4th round. It was a decent fight, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the reaction, man. Let's get into the wrap-up. All right, people. Good show. Today we spoke about Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, and the impending spring statement, and also the fact that she's going to be wielding an axe over 10,000 civil service jobs. It's looking crazy. Keir Starmer also held his good relationship with Donald Trump. And we also spoke about the fierce protests that are happening in Turkey after the Prime Minister, or President rather, Erdogan, jailed his rival. Topic of the day, we spoke about being Black British and asked the question of whether us rejecting English as our nationality is a stand or is it a setback? You know what I'm saying? Does it mess up integration and assimilation, or is it just reality? We also spoke about the new Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, who's calling for a new snap election. Canadians are going to be going to the polls on the 28th of April instead of in October. And we spoke about Brianna Gay, the trans girl that was killed, sadly. Her mum basically was speaking about the screening of a new ITV documentary called Brianna, A Mother's Story. I believe that's going to be screening soon. And basically just speaks about social media and whether these companies should be caring more, you know what I mean? Taking more responsibility for what's happening to the teenagers. Even though she doubts it. She's saying she doesn't think they're going to put lives over the profit. We also spoke about the family who's grieving the profound loss of their son, a brother and a friend, a 27-year-old who was shot dead in North London. We spoke about Jonathan Majors for quite some time.
Again.
We spoke about Ronaldo, man. He's waiting for that click. You know what I'm saying?
The click.
I'm sure her girlfriend is telling everyone to be quiet so you can hear it clearly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure. This is mute. Got me making a noise for her.
And we spoke about George Foreman, man. R.I.P. to the legend who sadly passed away at the young age of 76, man. Also, we spoke about the third teenager who's been charged following the death of Amen Takle, who was killed in Glasgow. We spoke about the dispute, the back and forth between Heathrow and the National Grid boss. And of course, we spoke about Pope Francis, man, who's made his first appearance since he was discharged from hospital. And that's pretty much it, guys.
Thank you guys. As always, big up Stacey for being our lovely co-host today. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that great stuff. There is a community service show on Wednesday. Is the lineup set?
Yes. Should I announce them?
I surprise people.
All right then.
Yes, we're going to be talking about the Netflix show Adolescence. Adolescence, yes. We're talking about that, so please watch it. And that will be in the evening, right? What time is that? 7?
Yeah, 7.
7 p.m. That will be on Wednesday evening. But before then...
We've even got a returnee.
Got a returnee?
Oh, nice.
Returnee guest as well.
Nice.
Yeah, she's interested in... I actually want to do it on the air, but...
Go on, do it.
Nah. I'm learning.
Since when? This weekend? What happened to you this weekend?
Yeah.
You're not learning, you're just tired. But we will see you guys here back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. I was going to say please have a great day. To be fair, have the day you want to have. But what am I begging you? Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.